Whoa, okay. And we're back! Another episode of the Sam Powers podcast. Today with the man with the nicest face I've ever seen. Adam Wickens again! Yeah! Third time, I think, right? It's
Yeah, this is
awesome.
the third time. Third time's a charm. I really wanted to be episode 69 and 100, but I'll settle for whatever episode this is.
I think it's like 112 or something. I don't know.
My lucky number, man. 112 is my lucky number.
Yeah, you can be 420 if I ever do that. Get to 420.
You should, man. If you did one of these, like, well, you were doing them like every day at one point, right?
Yeah, I was doing like 2 a day at the beginning, and then I slowed down to every day, and then I was doing like once a week, and then I was just kind of doing them whenever, and then I just like quit for like the past couple months.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you kept doing them, like you would have been at episode 420 a long time. You could have been in episode 420 on 420.
Right, but like the whole reason that I stopped is because like the reason I even started was to try to get 4,000 hours watch time within a year, right?
Mhm.
And I made it to 1,000, and then now it's like it's been a year, so it's like I'm losing hours. So now I'm probably at like 900 or something, you know. So
Yeah.
it was like it just like demotivated me, you know what I mean? And I was like, fuck it, gotta try something else. Nobody likes the Sad Powers podcast except for you. You begged me to bring it back, so I'm like,
I love the South Powers podcast.
okay.
It's cool, man. You have like all these people on, and you're like not trying to be anything. And then you even have dumb people on, and I love listening to dumb people, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, you got like sexy people on here. How many times has Taylor Grant been on this podcast? You know what I'm talking about? Like, I
He's
just get
not
an erection
twice.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Fuck, that picture he sent you for your birthday, or not for, or yeah, it was your birthday. It's so weird because your birthday and like 100,000 subscribers happened like almost at the same time. That's gotta be like a nice birthday present for you, eh?
Well, that was my goal for like the whole year. Like at the beginning of the year, it was like my goal was 100K by middle of May because that was my birthday. So, and it ended up like 3 days early, so it's pretty cool. So now I can say like I had 100,000 subscribers in my 20s, even though it was like with 2 days to spare.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, before you were 30. Damn, I could never say that.
Yeah, and now I just feel old and decrepit and like, yeah, it is what it is. It's good.
Yeah, man. Well, fucking cheers, bro. You got a drink, right?
Yeah, this stuff that
Congratulations.
yeah, this stuff that you and I drank almost all of. But yeah, thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Fuck, I didn't even get you anything for your birthday, but 100,000 subscribers is more important than a birthday, I think.
I
Yeah.
agree. I get a birthday every year. I don't get
Yeah.
100. Well, hopefully I do get hundreds of thousands every year, but
Yeah.
this is a pretty cool thing. Yeah, the first 100,000 is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I don't even
Yeah.
have like any questions prepared or anything. I was just so excited to see your your nice ass face, dude.
Thanks, man. I also think you have a magnificent face as
Thank
well. I
you.
think that was the word you were going for. So
Yes, it was. I'm out of practice. I haven't even done this in so long. Like, what did I even used to talk about? I haven't like
Aliens mostly.
Yeah.
Queen's Gambit was another one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they released a whole bunch of like UFO stuff. Also, I was looking for talking points before this too, but all I could find was like Demi Lovato is no longer good looking, so she needs like something else to make her, you know what I mean? So she's in the news for that. And it's just like all this dumb shit that I honestly could not give less of a fuck about. But yeah, and like sports ball stuff. But besides that, like what the fuck is going, like you can't do everything's opening up again though in the US. You notice that? Nothing here. Trudeau is like, yeah, we're gonna open stuff up when we're at 75%, which like is never gonna happen. So we're never gonna open up again. And then the US is like, fuck it. It is what it is. Like, go get sick. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. I see so many like memes that are like Florida or whatever, and they're like partying and shit, and then it's like Canada, and everyone's like, just
it like blows. Okay, at the end of the day, here's how it should be, in my dumb opinion. And I am not a doctor, and I am dumb, so it is what it is. But I think that like if once everyone's had the opportunity to get vaccinated, and that has gone like been in past, then just open everything up, because then if you choose not to, then you're the one at risk, and all of us who chose to, then we're not. So who gives a shit? Like, why does it matter? Just like open shit up again, you know? Like, let me go see my friends' beautiful faces and like pinch their nipples at comedy shows. I don't understand what the fuck we're waiting for, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Fucking, I feel like I'm too dumb to even like talk about any of this shit, because like I don't fucking know, right? It's like fucking I got so many friends that are like crazy conspiracy theories, and I have so many friends that are like total conformists or whatever, and they just do exactly what the government says, you know. And it's like I'm just like somewhere in the middle where it's like I've and also like the world's so fucking populated. Like some people need to start dying, you know. Like should we be
So
saving
true,
all
though.
these
So
people?
true. Man, the way that I see it, man, like if you're not in the middle at some level,
Yeah.
then I think you're a fucking idiot. Like if you believe everything one side or the other side says of anything, if it's a COVID thing or politics or like
Right.
anything, unless it's gravity or like the earth is round, if there's anything else besides that where you don't fall somewhere in the middle, I think you're fucking dumb. I think you're super dumb because I mean, like one side doesn't have all the answers. And like this conspiracy, like super conspiracy people,
Mhm.
those people are fucking crazy. Those people are so crazy. You ever
Yeah.
talk to one of those people? It's
Yeah,
like,
bro,
no,
I
the
know
earth,
some.
the earth is flat, bro. It's just
Yeah.
like, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, why don't you go to the ice wall, man? You could become
Yeah.
famous. They'll probably pay you like 3 bitcoins in order if you find that thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
my cousin is like huge like that. Like it's like a stereotype. It's so funny. Like I remember as a kid asking him, like being like, "Okay, will you admit that it's possible that you're wrong? Just admit that it's possible that reptilians don't exist." And he's like, "No, 100%. There's reptilians."
Oh man, I remember that when it was like Justin Bieber. It was like a video of Justin Bieber's face going around.
Yeah.
Like this was like 6 years ago, and his eye kind of like blinked the other way, and then it was like the next day it came out that someone like altered the video.
Right.
Obviously,
Obviously. Yeah. Yeah.
and still to this day, people will bring
Yeah.
that up as proof that there's like reptile people, and it's like, bruh, there's no reptile people don't exist.
That'd be sick if they did, though, right?
Well, it would be cool if they, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
do think that there are certain people that are not of this world. Like if you ever
Mhm.
speak, like listen to Elon Musk or like Mark Zuckerberg talk, like those people we're not the same thing. I don't know what that is, but
That's
that's not.
because they have autism, you asshole.
Oh, I never thought of it like that. I didn't mean to make fun of the autistic folks. Does Mark Zuckerberg have? I know Elon.
I don't
came
know.
out-
Yeah.
Oh, you're probably right though.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it was like it was an unpopular thing, and so I didn't post it. But I was thinking like when Elon's like, "Oh, and by the way, I have Asperger's." I was like, "Is water also wet?" Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can't say that because anything
Yeah.
you say at all is like, "Oh, you can't tell when someone,"
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like someone in my Discord thing the other day is like, "Yeah, he kind of looks like he's a little bit off," and someone went off like, "You can't tell if people are off by looking at them." It's like, really? You should walk down Queenston Street today and tell me that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, get the fuck out of here. You can't tell just by looking at him. Oh my god, everything is so politically correct. I don't even care. I don't even care. It is what it is.
Yeah, man, it's fucking weird. It's like the whole world is so weird, and like it's so crazy with like the population thing. It's like when I was born, there was like something like 5 or 6 billion, and now there's like 8 billion. I think there was like 5 billion or something when I was born.
Yeah, well, in our
Around there.
parents' lifetime, it was 3 billion. Like in our parents' lifetime.
Yeah, so it
So,
like fucking tripled, and like that's crazy. Or not tripled, but it will. Like it's gonna be like we're gonna see it even get crazier and crazier. Like why are people just having so many babies all the time?
yeah, man. I guess like to replace you and your partner is one thing, but like I'm trying to think of like people that I know who have kids. Like there are the certain ones, like the really hot girls in high school who have 4 kids by 4 different baby daddies and all of them are
Yeah.
doctors and lawyers. That's a different thing. Drive Lexuses and 6-bedroom houses and never had a job in their life. But besides those, like the people that you know that like, do you know anyone that is like a regular family, or I shouldn't say regular family, but you know what I mean? That has more
DJ
than
Brooks has like a cliche American
Yeah.
family or whatever.
two
That's like
kids,
yeah.
2 kids, one to replace him and one to replace his
Yeah,
wife.
he doesn't have like
You know what I
8
mean?
kids or anything crazy. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and like even when I was
Mm.
growing up, like I knew one family and this lady, she was pumping them out like it was her fucking job, like just pumping out a unit every year, like it was an iPhone, you know, like they needed the newest model. And but besides that, and I think then eventually like the one dad was like, I'm tired of this bitch's shit, right? And
Yeah.
she had like 4 or 5 baby daddies, which was like really new to me at the time, right? Because it was like the late 90s. But now it seems like that's super trendy. Like, but even then, like I didn't know anyone that had like 6 or 7 kids. You know, but I guess that's probably because they didn't go to my school. Because like the people who have 6 or 7 kids are also like Catholic and think like the devil will stick their dick in you on your way down to hell if you use a condom or something, whatever they think.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, I think that's it, right? Is that what it says in the Bible?
Something like that. Have you
Yeah.
read the Bible ever?
Yeah, I did. I read the Bible in high school
shit.
because I was doing like a bunch. I was like really hardcore against religion at that time.
Mhm.
And then now it's like, who gives a shit? Like, why
Yeah.
do I care if you believe in whatever? But yeah, I read it, and I did world religions in high school too, which was like the coolest. It was like the coolest class ever because it was like the class that like made me change my mind. That like
Mhm.
I now believe everybody is like a person. Like everyone's the same. We're all the same. But before, I don't know. I just thought like, I don't know, if you believe in different invisible man than me, then you must be a crazy person. So that class taught me two things. First of all, I'm not religious at all.
Mhm.
And second of all, why the fuck do I care what invisible man you pray to? It doesn't matter to me. We're all people. We all need the same shit, right? Like we all bleed the same, right?
Mhm.
Unless you're Charlie Sheen and then you bleed acid, I'm pretty sure. But besides that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I never read the Bible, not even one sentence. And I went to a Catholic high school. Like I also took world religion, which was
How did you pass? How did you
I don't know.
you just fell asleep? Because don't you
Yeah.
actually have to go to like church services and shit to be in
Uh
Catholic?
Kinda. Like I don't know, we just like wore uniforms and stuff. That's all I really remember. And it's like and
Oh,
you
when they
had to
teach
have a
you.
religion class. Every year you had to take one religion class. So like I think in grade 11 I got world religion and was so much better than like just learning about Catholicism every fucking year or whatever, you know.
So, but if you go to Catholic school, they teach you that condoms don't work, right? That's part of it.
I don't know, man. I got 50s the whole time. I don't remember any of
Okay.
that shit. I got 2 brain injuries. I feel like self-diagnosed, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't remember like most of my childhood, especially like boring ass shit like that.
yeah. I
Yeah.
remember my friends telling me they used to do this thing at Dennis Morris. I went down to school down the street,
Hmm.
and they taught in health class that like so they had you hold like a hula hoop at one end, and then someone would be at the end of the classroom throwing bean bags through the hula hoop. Which unless like you throw like a fucking idiot, you're gonna get every time.
Yeah.
And then the teacher was like, every time the bean bag goes through the hoop, that's the time that the condom fails. I'm like, what? Like, so they're teaching that if you don't
Yeah.
so then all of that leads to is because like kids are gonna fuck, right? Kids are gonna
Mhm.
fuck. So all that leads to is like, well, if condoms don't work, why am I putting this fucking thing on? You know? And then
Yeah,
all of a
exactly.
sudden there's like an epidemic of these
Mhm.
fucking knocked up teenagers at the school down the street. And I just kept thinking, like, I need to go to these parties these ladies put out. You know what I mean? But that was,
Yeah.
I guess, not the takeaway now that I'm a little bit older. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
maybe you should teach kids not how to get pregnant because they're definitely gonna fuck. Kids are gonna fuck every time.
Yeah. I remember fucking in like the one science or health class, the teacher was like, "You guys have probably already had sex by now," and I was a virgin at the point. It was like grade 9, and I was like, "Fuck, man."
Your teacher was shaming you. It's like
Yeah,
most of you had sex unless you're a
yeah,
fucking loser.
yeah. And he's like, "Or you will really soon," you know what I mean? And it was grade 9, and I was like,
You guys should go around back right now. Partner up. Everyone
"Yeah,
get a partner. Sir, there's like Jimmy's the only one. It's gay sex is fine. Trust me, it'll be legal in
yeah."
like 3 years. Just go for it. Get busy. You spit on it first though. They don't lubricate themselves, those buttholes. I think that's how sex ed goes, right?
Yeah, something like that.
But also we had a couple teachers at my high school that I'm pretty sure never had sex yet. And
Mhm.
there was this one Mr. Nickel, and he told us the entire class. I shouldn't have said his name. I don't give a shit. Fuck you, Mr. Nickel. And he told us that he was dating Misha Barton at the time, who at the time was on the OC shooting in Los Angeles, the biggest movie star of all time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the next class, like I'm not even joking, the next class, he's like, "You see this picture right here? This is the original drawings of the Lion King. My uncle was the original." And I look up this guy's name, and it was like not a white guy's name. And I'm like, "Oh, is this?" Oh yeah, he's like, "These are worth millions of dollars." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you brought millions
Yeah.
of dollars worth of art to your grade 11 English class, you fucking putz!" Like, give me a goddamn break.
Yeah, people probably think I'm like that guy when I say Dead Mouse is my cousin. Like I just stopped
Yeah, but
saying
you don't
it.
brag about it, dude. Like this dude was bragging. He's like
Yeah,
34
true,
years
true.
old. He's
Yeah.
bragging about it to a bunch of 16-year-olds. It's like, I get it, bro. You've never got your dick touched in your fucking life, and you feel insecure about it. So you need to show off to 16-year-olds. We get it.
Yeah.
I see what's happening here.
That's
You know
kind
what
of
I mean?
creepy actually. Hopefully it never worked. You know?
Man, this dude was. This is the dude for sure that like talked some girl into blowing him behind the bleachers at a school dance because she got dumped by her boyfriend that day. Like for
Yeah.
sure, this is that guy. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm gonna get sued for sure if he ever watches this, but that's okay. I don't know. He probably,
Mr.
man.
Quarter, Mr. Quarter.
Yeah. Mr. Penny, Mr.
Yeah.
Penny's worth.
Yeah,
There's
why'd
a
I go
lot.
up in value? I should have went down.
Yeah, you're not even worth 5 cents.
Yeah.
You piece of shit. And man, I met a lot of like crazy weird dudes. Like I worked for a guy one time. He was like, he would always like talk to you like this fucking close the entire time, right in your ear. And he would like tell us these weird scientific facts which weren't true. And he would tell us that he was a doctor, but he worked at a call center. He was a manager at a call center. So, but doctors don't work in call centers, just in case you're wondering. And he
Well,
would tell
now
us
they do.
yeah, that's true. Now they do. And he told us all this crazy shit, and then I saw his picture on like a 411 thing one time, and it was like wanted for luring small children. Like,
Oh my God,
like,
Jesus Christ.
that makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
fuck.
I should have saw that one coming. I should have called the police the minute I met this guy. He was fucking creepy the entire time.
Damn. All right, moving on. Yeah.
We opened this one strong.
I know, yeah. Awesome. Cheers, man.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate this. This is
Yeah.
very nice. No one else came and brought me bad choices. So
Yeah, I to be clear, I dropped it off on his porch and ran away. We did not contact.
Yeah. I wore a mask and 3 condoms the entire day just to be extra safe. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. We talked. It was a good time. Fucking yeah, it was good seeing you, man. Fucking it's
You're the
weird,
only
like,
people,
talking to-
man. You're the only person that's been here. So, and like
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't seen anybody in so long. So it was like very cool. I'm glad that you dropped by.
Yeah, it's weird that that's like against the law. Like I broke the law to deliver that gift to you.
Yo, so what are you in for, bro? Are you like selling drugs, like prostitution, kidnapping?
Yeah.
I went to see my buddy and we smoked some cigars in his
Yeah.
backyard. Fuck, it's
Wow.
so stupid. Isn't it wild that
Yeah.
that was last week and we
Mhm.
were freezing our bags off, and then today, like, bro, I have like 3 shades of sunburn. Like, it's
Yeah,
fucking
I'm sweating so bad right now. Like I keep having to like fucking, and I'm wearing this sweater because it's you're fucking.
I know,
dead, but I was like-
I appreciate it. Thank
My
you.
mom's like, "Why are you wearing a sweater?" I'm like, "I have to. I don't. He didn't give me a t-shirt."
You should
I
enter the
cut the
draw.
sleeves off.
You should. You should. Man, for the longest time, that was my least popular design, and I got it like as a sample.
Mm,
And I'm like, you know who would like this? Sat Powers. He would
I
like
do
it.
like it. I
And
love
you're
it.
the only person in the entire world that had that sweater for a long time.
And now when people have ordered it, though, is where you're going with this, right?
Yes, but never
Yeah.
in that color. So you're
Ooh,
still one of a
sick.
kind.
What? That's awesome. I like being
Mhm.
special, man.
Man, everyone I know says that Sad Powers is special. So
Yeah. Maybe I'm like Elon or Zuckerberg, but just not as smart.
Oh, that's the worst. That's you get all the bad and none of the
Mhm.
yeah. Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goddamn Doge, bro. Everyone's going crazy for crypto now. It's kind of funny seeing it all over Facebook. And it's kind of crazy. Like if you had like a significant money in Bitcoin, you just lost half of it. Like it was at 80,000 Canadian and now it's at 40,000 Canadian, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Man, when it was like so in December, it was like I don't remember exactly, like
Mhm.
40-ish, something like that, right?
Yeah, and
And I
then it went
remember-
up and now it's back down. That's a good point. So it's like depends
Yeah.
when they put their money in.
Someone told me, man, they're like, you should buy one.
Mhm.
You should buy one. Like that's a lot of money for being
$40,000.
That's a lot
Yeah.
of fucking money. But this is a guy, this is a millionaire kid, right? And he's like, yeah, man, you just sold a house. You could like, yeah, but that's so much fucking money.
But
And
just because it's like a round number of having one, like you could still buy half of one or whatever,
Yes.
a quarter of one, or you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
which is what I did today.
Yeah.
I bought Bitcoin today, and I bought like
Nice.
0.1 Bitcoin or
Yeah.
whatever, or 0.01, whatever.
Mhm.
And I'm like, and I thought about it, but then I was thinking about it like last week, and I'm like, what if I did that and just held on a little bit?
Mhm.
But if I spent $40,000 on Bitcoin in December, and then woke up this morning and saw Les's status that crypto's on sale, and I'm like, fuck, and I should check.
Yeah.
And then Bitcoin was at like 37,000, and I would have lost $3,000. I would have jumped off the fucking roof before it even like skyrocketed back up to 50,000 today, whatever it was. And then it went down. Today was a weird day, dude. Like it was
Yeah.
like it was crazy.
The
today.
markets are all crazy. It's like fun to watch, you know. Like you get like it's like gambling almost. You get like excited and shit when it's going up, and then you're all upset when it's going down. It's like a crazy roller coaster because it's like in one day, like everything could change and like
Yeah, it's fun if you're not one of those crazy guys who remortgages their house to put all their money on fucking Bitcoin or whatever, right? But
yeah.
can you imagine, dude? Holy shit, that would be fucking terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because like I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I heard like half of all Bitcoin is just like lost because of like people forgetting their passwords or like dying and shit like that.
Man, I wouldn't doubt it. And like you've heard lots of stories about that because let's suppose that you bought Bitcoin in 2009. What was it then? Like a couple of pennies or 10 cents or something like that, right?
I don't even know. Yeah.
Yeah, or I think it was less than a penny in 2008. So let's say it's a penny. And then you buy it and you put like $50 into it, right? And then you just forget about it because it's worth nothing. It's like
and it was only $50 or whatever, which is nothing. Yeah.
It's less valuable than like fucking Habbo Hotel credits, or like the Sims credits, and then you forget about it, and then all of a sudden, like 2015 or whenever it started going, 2014. I'm dumb, I don't even know when, but whatever, like years later, like a decade later almost, and then all of a sudden it goes crazy. It's like, of course you forgot your fucking password. That was a decade ago. It was meant nothing to you. So. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like everyone like does these. If you could tell anything to your 18-year-old self, what would it be in 4 words? Buy Bitcoin, you fuck. Like every time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like buy Bitcoin or like Bitcoin.
I remember like thinking I should buy some so many times too. Like when it was like first hearing about it and stuff, I was like, oh, I should get some of this. And then hearing it go up, I was like, yeah, I should get. You know what I mean? I just never did, and I still haven't.
Man, I bought some today for the first time because it like dipped pretty low.
Yeah.
But I remember in 2016 or whatever, 2015 or whatever, it was like 30-ish grand. And I was like thinking, I'm like, bro, can you imagine? Because I know a guy who, I don't even know what happened to him. I can't find him on Facebook, but he bought a bunch in like 2008 or 2009. So either he's so rich he doesn't use Facebook anymore, or he lost his password and he fucking killed himself. Either way, I hope he's doing good.
Yeah.
And but no matter how you slice it, I remember he kept saying, like, and his name was Adam too, and he's like, you should buy. And then I remember in like 2015 or 2016, like, bro, imagine if I put $100 in at that time. And I figured it was worth millions. Man, that'd be fucking crazy. Can you imagine? Like, you are so, like, I barely passed high school. I have no college education.
Yeah.
I am dumb as fuck. And then it's like you're a millionaire because you bought this dumb fucking meme coin. Like, so
yeah, for like $100 or whatever. Like I've spent like $100 at the bar so many times, just wasted.
So many times. Every time.
Yeah.
Every time you go bar. Like
well, the last minute, it's like you've been buying me beers, so I didn't really have to.
DJ Brooks and I look at each other like, is it your turn or my turn?
I appreciate it. I like paid you back a little bit with the bottle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like a little like 10% of what you bought me or something.
It's always good to pay like your debts off, which I would never expect. I don't give a shit if I buy.
I know, obviously,
but it's always funny. It's like, yeah, this guy bought me like 400 beers. Let me get him one big ass bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good play, man. That's good. That's a good play.
Yeah, bro. It's like I can't just keep every once in a while. I gotta give a little back, Otherwise, I'm just a bad friend. I feel like,
Yeah, that's like a profit share at work, right? Like you work your ass off all day. It's like I made you $1 million this quarter, and you're paying me $15 an hour. And I deserve a raise. Here, we'll give you a pizza party.
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect metaphor, or is that's a metaphor, right? I don't know. I always get those things mixed up.
Yeah, no,
the other one.
That's one of them. I don't know. I haven't taken an English class in a long time, and I didn't give a shit about it back then.
Man, do you know what irks me though is like the there, and like the your shit that people always get wrong.
Oh yeah,
everyone gets that shit wrong all the time, and there's even like memes that have like millions of likes. The people who just keep sharing with spelling mistakes, and it like when there's a spelling mistake in a meme, it makes me so fucking mad, and it's all the time.
There's little as satisfying in life as if someone makes fun of you on Facebook or some social media, and they make fun of you for being stupid, and they spell "they're" wrong.
Yeah,
that is my favorite. It's like, okay, you are the dumbest human being that ever lived. It's like the English language is kind of difficult if it's your second language.
Yeah,
if it's your first language, you should figure it out. There's what your and your 222. And there. Like, figure it the fuck out.
You're literally practicing all the time.
All the time. And our whole life is written down. Like, we type everything out. I type out way more things than I actually speak to people because it's illegal to see people now. So
exactly.
figure it out. How fucking difficult is it? You know what I mean? Like you literally learn that in third grade, literally third
Mhm.
grade. So like, are you smarter than a fifth grader? No, because you can't fucking spell the word two. That's like that. Well, you know that comedian who used to be in the Toronto community and the Hamilton community, and then he kicked out, and he would spell two wrong like all the time, and that was like my favorite thing ever to fucking read. That was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, two is even worse than like there, and there, whatever. Because like
It's a
it's like,
two
come
or fewer
on.
word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many letters is it? Two. T
Yeah.
O O.
Yeah.
Like fucking idiot. So stupid. So what are you talking about in your podcast? We just made fun of everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. I just feel like you should, like, as an adult, there's certain things you should be like able to do,
Hmm.
Yeah. Like cook bacon also is another one, Like I just feel like there's certain things, wash a car, jerk off properly. I think there's just certain things you should be able to do.
Yeah, and like fucking, you should be allowed to like say your opinion and argue with people and shit. Like, fucking, everyone's like trying to shut people down that are like racist or whatever, and I'm like, let them fucking tell everyone that they're an asshole. You know what I mean? It's like, if like they stop saying their stupid opinions, then no one will know that they're stupid.
I could not agree
And
anymore.
you
And that's
can't
like,
convince them wrong, you know what I mean? If you just shut these people down, then they're like, then they turn into like, oh, I have to fight for my rights and shit, you know what I mean?
well, there was that thing where like this bakery wouldn't make a wedding cake for two dudes.
Mhm.
And it's like, why are you just let them like let them go out of business? Like no
Yeah,
one,
exactly.
no one with two brain cells that rub together is phobic of any kind. Like I don't give a shit if you're gay
Mhm.
or like it affects me 0%. I do not give a shit. So, and it's like if you're still and the thing is too, like at the end of the day, like I want the ability to refuse serve. I want the ability to choose. I would
Mhm.
never choose to not serve a gay person because I don't
Yeah.
give a shit. But you should have the opportunity to, so that you can just go to business on your own. Let everybody know that you're dumb. Like
Mhm.
so stupid. I agree 100%, 100%. And that's why I think like we need freedom of choice. And if you choose to be an idiot, then you also choose to go into business and let that
Mhm.
happen. That's fine with me.
Man, I love gay people. Like, I've never met a gay person I was afraid was gonna like do some sketchy ass shit. Where I met so many like bros where I was like, yo, I don't trust this motherfucker, you know? But like,
Yeah, man,
and
every gay
like they're
person I've
not
ever met
having
is,
kids, which I love, you know, because there's way too many people.
yes, they're not overpopulating.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, every gay person I've ever met, besides Taylor Grant, that guy's kind of sketch. But besides
yeah,
that, I mean, like, and it's so funny too, because like you make a joke like that, and it's like he's not actually gay, so therefore it's a joke, and you can't make jokes about gay people. It's like, give me a fucking break.
he's a little gay.
Yeah, no, I love Taylor Grant. I was just joking. I
Yeah,
love
me
that
too.
guy.
It's
Yeah,
okay. He's not gonna listen to this. None of my friends listen to my podcast except for you and Weber.
it's right. It's just like a bunch of dudes like watching something in comments. So you can go
Yeah.
subscribe to them. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
the jig is up, dude. That doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
People don't.
I was trying that for a while in college to got videos and stuff and like actually watching it. It was just like, I was like, why am I wasting my time watching these videos that I'm not actually interested in? You know, it's like I'm not even like, I don't want to watch this guy play video games, you know? But it's
Yeah,
like an hour long and I was like, and I'm like, but he watches my videos, you know?
I mean, there's certain things that I do, like video game watching. I don't really get at all.
Mhm.
I don't get it. And like I know that a lot of people do it, right? And like I do a lot of weird. Like I have a basement full of snakes, so like who am I to talk about weird stuff? But like my chick watches that all the time. She watches Markiplier and like all those people,
Mhm.
but I just don't get it. But it's funny too because when I was a kid, my dad used to play Zelda Ocarina of Time on Nintendo 64, and my sister and I would watch him like it was like TV all the time.
Why
And now
weren't you playing? Like your dad's
well,
just playing video games and you guys would watch.
well, we
Yeah.
would play too, but like my dad was just
Yeah.
better because like
Right.
he was an adult and we were children,
Hmm.
and he was reading through like a playthrough guide, and I was like,
Yeah, you had to get like the books back in the day. That was
yeah,
sick. I would do that
or
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
printed off the internet. My dad's
Yeah.
always been like, you don't have to pay for that. We can download that. We can print it out. I know ink costs $80 a cartridge, and it would cost way less to buy the book, but we'll
Yeah.
definitely we'll save. But I remember, yeah, watching him play, and he was just better because like you're better at stuff when you're an adult. I wasn't even like
Mhm.
formed yet. I could barely read. And it was fun, man. It was like my sister and I used to watch this guy play, and he was good at these video games. and it was fun. And then now I just don't get it, which is so stupid because like I used to do that all the time. I don't know. But also I
Yeah.
watch sports, which is like, I guess if you really think about it, like sports and well, maybe it's not the same thing because it's like real life, but I don't know, it's just like different things. Like I'm
Well,
trying
you're
to
like
like,
moving your hands. It's like sports, but just with your hands.
yeah, dexterity. Yeah, it's like if you're like watching the math Olympics or a spelling
Yeah.
bee. It's,
That's like sports, but just with your brain.
It's like there are certain things now I still think are super dumb. Like, why would you watch a spelling bee? Like, what's fun about that? Like, why?
There's like
Oh,
clips of spelling bees that are really funny, but besides that, it'd be super boring.
yeah, but those are funny because they're not supposed to be funny.
Yeah, they're
You know?
spelling like some stupid word or whatever. Like I don't even
Yeah.
can't think of it.
But there's some people that watch it and like they're super into it. And like another one is like golf. And I get that golf is a sport and the whole thing, and like I can't do it. But it like to me, like it's not, I don't know, like I can't. I'd rather watch paint dry. It's just like
Yeah,
not my thing.
I've never been into sports at all. But you like hockey and shit, right?
Man, I love all I love most sport. Like all like the four major sports. I
Mhm.
love sports. Yeah, like
What
as
are
I was
the
watching
four
the video,
major ones? I don't even know if I could guess them. I think I do. It's football, basketball, baseball, hockey, right?
yeah, that's
Okay,
the
cool,
four.
cool.
Yeah,
Whew.
well, in North America, those are the
Yeah,
four. But
yeah.
soccer
Oh,
worldwide is like
soccer is worldwide the number
way
one.
bigger,
Yeah.
way bigger. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Huh.
They're like they're crazy how big those guys are. But I don't know. To me, like I love watching women's soccer, but dude soccer is just like a bunch of 170-pound men with like coiffed, highlighted hair, look like they're in boy bands, throwing themselves on the ground. And to me, that's super duper boring and kind of gay. And not a big fan. Not a big fan.
Do you remember when the guy bit the guy's dick?
See, kind of gay.
That was wild. Nothing like that's happened in any other sport.
No, man. Like that's the only sport where dudes throw themselves on the ground. Like it is just so,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just like so not, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But as I was like waiting for this thing to charge, as the Bruins are my team, right? And they're winning into double overtime as this thing started. And to me, that's exciting. That's fun. Like football is like my main sport. Like I like watching sports. So I get it, like why people would want to watch like their favorite gamer play games. It's just like
Mhm.
I personally have no interest in doing that at all. I'd rather rip my dick off and throw in the river than watch you play video games now. So
Yeah. For me, it's like I'm like, oh, I would have done it this way. Like I get it, like gives me like anxiety or something watching people play games because like they're not good enough, especially if it's a game like I'm really good at, right? So it's like, this is what the game. What I do is so much better, or whatever, you know.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
fucking hate it too. Yeah.
I just don't. I'm not into it. But then at the same time, like people watch me talk about reptiles. It's
True.
like, and how is that more exciting than watching someone play video games? Playing video games, there's like explosions and like
True.
and you're
Yeah.
watching me in this exact setting talk about reptile dicks. How is that more exciting than World of Warcraft or Robo Crossing or whatever? I don't know these games. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, with your shit, it's like I always learn stuff. You know what I mean? Like every
yeah,
video, it's like there's always information I didn't know about. Tons of shit.
I try. Man, that's the idea, right? Because like that was the fun thing. Like when I was a kid, and when I was like watching like Kratz Creatures and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's like I didn't know that thing, and then I retained a lot of it, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm just like hoping that like some kid somewhere like watches and they're like, oh, reptiles are really cool, and then maybe that guy is like way more driven and motivated and smart than me, and he actually goes to school and can do something good with it because all I do is talk to a camera. So maybe I can inspire somebody who can actually change the world because all I'm doing is like, I don't know, changing people's minds about bald people. I have no idea. I'm not doing anything.
The only thing I retained is that reptiles have two dicks, turtles and snakes have two dicks.
Yeah, snakes definitely have two dicks,
Yeah.
100%. Most lizards have two dicks also. And I mean, big fan, right? Because like DP is trending on Pornhub, so I think that
Yeah.
reptiles should be more popular, 100%.
Yeah, the reptilians would be killing it if they're real. Important out there.
So not only is Mark Zuckerberg super rich, he has two dicks.
Yeah,
know?
fuck. Some guys get it all, bro.
But you know who doesn't have two dicks? Bill Gates, because if he had two dicks, his wife wouldn't have left him.
Nice.
Right? Yeah, right. I love how she
Yeah.
left, and he's like, "Okay, I'll just transfer you half of the stock because I know you're gonna get it." It's like, That poor fucking well, not poor
Oh
fucking guy.
shit! Yeah, he's still rich and stuff. And everyone, it's funny how like all the conspiracy shit about Bill Gates, yo. Like fucking, I don't
Man,
know, man. If he's putting shit to sterilize people in the vaccines or whatever, I'm saying, yeah, less people. Come on.
well, it's just like and I get why, like if you were like one of those crazy like tinfoil head wearing things,
Yeah.
because he was talking about like legitimately in front of an audience, like not even in secret, talking about eugenics. He was talking about sterilizing people, and then now he's the one backing these vaccines. So I get why. At the end of the
Mhm.
day, man, I have no idea if the vaccines are safe. I don't know. I know people say, well, there's a flu shot. It's not the same thing. It's a
Yeah.
completely different vaccine. So I don't think it's been tested enough. We don't get the peer-reviewed studies for 2 years, right? Which is super sketchy.
Mhm.
But also, if it was donkey cum scooped out of a river, you can put it in me if I can go back to normal life. So
Yeah.
I don't actually
Exactly.
give a shit. You know? Are you gonna let me cross the border?
Yeah.
Perfect. Fuck, spit on it when you're done. I don't care. Like
Yeah.
I'm just ready to like I'm done with this shit, and I
Yeah.
can't move on with this career of mine until I can like move, like go not only move but also like just go and do collaborations and go across the border, meet people. Even like in
Mhm.
Canada, there's a couple like bigger YouTubers in Canada that want to do, but they're like when it's safe, and it's like you got to respect that obviously, and I do, but at the same time, it's like when it's safe, dog. Like unless you're 98 years old, it's fucking safe. Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It's literally safe
You
right now.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Says the asthmatic who would probably die if he got it some sort of shape.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm scheduled. Michelle gets hers tomorrow, and I get
Nice.
mine next week. I'm excited to get
Dope.
both.
I got it scheduled too today. Actually, my sister made the appointment for me.
When are you going?
I wrote it down. It's like in like a couple weeks or something. I don't know. My memory is really bad.
Oh yeah, you have two undiagnosed head injuries. That's right.
Yeah, but I know that my second dose is scheduled for like September, but it could change apparently.
Yeah, so they were moving everybody up. Like someone I know in Barrie, she had hers like the other day, and then her second one was scheduled for June 11th. And it's like, how's that? Because mine's scheduled for September,
Hmm.
and my second one, and it's but so they started moving everybody up, but now everyone over the 18 can book. So we don't have enough, so they're gonna move everybody back. So it's just sort
So
of
yeah, they're moving them forward and then
yeah.
back. You know what I mean? It's
I
like,
don't know, man. Like, I mean, I'm very against this like vaccine passport, but at the end of the day, it's like if I'm vaccinated, can you please just open shit up? Can I go see my friends for
yeah.
fuck's sake? You know what I mean? Like, you know how long it's been since I licked Taylor Grant's face? So long. And I feel like it's about time. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
it
yeah,
is. Yeah, imagine next time you get to lick his face, it's just wrinkles.
right. I know, and that's the thing is like I think he's in his 30s too now, so that might be a thing.
I
You
think
know,
he's still 29 actually, but I
is
don't
he?
know to be honest. I don't know anyone's age except for like yours now, but I'm gonna forget that soon, you know?
Well, because it
It's
doesn't
like,
matter. It's like so
yeah,
stupid.
it really
Like
is.
after a certain age, like who gives a shit?
Yeah.
What? How? I don't know how any
And I
old
actually
anyone
do
is.
know Dan Brennan is like 45, even though he looks 60.
I was gonna say he's
Yeah,
45. Fuck,
yeah,
man.
something like that. Maybe even younger. I know Christian Reimer is older than Dan Brennan, which is like
What?
mind blowing. Yeah.
Yo, Dan Brennan looks like he's aging in dog years. I thought Reimer was like 35 max.
No,
Like
he's like 50, bro. Is that wild? Yeah. It's
that
fucking
is wild.
crazy.
He's
Yeah.
got a beautiful mustache. I don't know if he still
Mhm.
has it, but the last time I saw him, he had the most
Yeah.
beautiful. Man, he looked like fucking Pepe Le Pew without the rape. He looked beautiful last
I
time I
should
saw
get
him.
him on the podcast. I haven't had him on. There's like a couple people.
He's an interesting dude, man. I've talked to him a few times at shows and stuff, and very funny guy. I got nothing but good things to say about him. And same with Dan Brennan. I like that guy
Yeah,
too.
I
Besides the
love
fact
both
that
those guys.
he looks like he'd break a hip if he stepped off a stair wrong. But besides that, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
Dan was awesome because he would come down to fucking shows all the time. And I'm saying was like he's dead. He's gonna be dead soon. He's old. But yeah, it's like we'd always smoke joints and shit, fucking, and he would be on all these like local shows, even though he's from Hamilton. Like those guys like him that would come down and grind down here, and were like grinding like as much as they could.
Ryan Sim.
Fucking
That's another one.
respect that shit. Yeah. Hmm.
Ryan Simpson.
Yeah.
Man, that's how you know, like if you ever wonder like, oh, is this person in shape or not, or is this person of like good health? You always think like, if you heard that person got COVID, what would your reaction be? If I heard that Taylor
Yeah.
Grant got COVID, my reaction would
He's
be
fine.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's good. But if Dan Brennan would be like, oh no, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So like, and Ryan Sim to a certain extent. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
I'd be like, oh no. Yeah.
it's like, what has he eaten this week? Like, how many
Yeah.
episodes of Chowing Down have been done this week? Let me see what his health is like. How many times has he blown out his asshole this week? I wonder. Yeah, man, I think that's I did like a mock Chowing Down episode. I shot it. I never edited it and put it out, but I'm
Oh,
going
you
to.
should have.
It
Please
was
do.
good. It was pretty
That's
funny.
so funny.
Man,
Oh
I
man.
love it, man. I love how Ryan Sim is just like, he's so goofy. He doesn't give a shit. He does these videos that obviously just for fun. He doesn't give a shit who like. Man, I love his style, like what he's doing, and he's got a kid. He's like a real adult. He's got like a job.
Yeah, he's
and
got a
kid.
good job. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But he's
He's
just
got
like
a family
still.
and shit.
I hate when people like they take themselves too seriously,
Yeah.
and Ryan definitely does not. I fucking love it. He's just
Yeah,
like,
he's
yeah,
fucking awesome. I should
yeah,
watch. I was watching them when he was first doing them, but like, I actually forgot about them. So now I'm gonna like go back and like now I know he's still doing them. I'm gonna go back and watch a bunch.
yeah. Ryan's like, he's like one of my favorite dudes. Like, because the local comedy scene, like, there's a ton of funny guys, but
Hmm.
like one of my favorite dudes to hang out with is Ryan, because he's just like, he's so silly, but then you like it comes up to like a serious topic, and he can
Hmm.
actually speak intelligently, and
Yeah.
it's like very, yeah. You don't really get that a lot with people, so.
Yeah, and he's like really good off stage. He's like you, where you guys are like good to shoot the shit with, and it's like I'm just cracking up talking to you. You know what I mean?
Plus, his voice is like he sounds like a cartoon character. Like,
Yeah,
for
it really
sure,
does.
you know, both of his parents were cartoon characters and they fucked, and that's what happened when Ryan Sim came out. So, yeah, I got nothing but love for all
Yeah,
those guys. Yeah, so
for sure,
even
man.
Dan Brennan, who looks like he's
Yeah,
84,
yeah.
but he plays ukulele. He is more talented than I am.
And me, he's better than me. He's like that soft touch, and I'm just like, "Brrr," you know.
Well, him and Ryan on I think it was your podcast, right? And they sang like a Bob Dylan song or something.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
When Ryan was like super loud, and I kept telling him to just fucking mic down, he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, yeah, it was so. I remember that one. It was
Yeah,
like he was really loud then. But
yeah.
yeah, it was fun, man. I can't wait till all this shit opens back up, and then I think when it opens back up too, it's gonna be like you have to show your ID. Like, are you from Niagara in order to get in here?
They
And
were
that's gonna
doing that a
suck
bit before. They were like,
at
and
the
they also
beaches and
make
shit.
you put your
Mhm.
phone number and shit, like at the comedy clubs and stuff.
Yeah, but it's stupid, man. It's like I don't like if we're getting the reason that I am getting vaxxed is because it means that I will not catch this thing, right?
Hmm.
So if that's how it works and that's how it's being advertised, then as soon as you get it, shouldn't you be allowed to take your mask off and just, or not as soon as, but like 2 weeks after,
Yeah.
however long until the shit
Hmm.
works? Shouldn't you be allowed to like take your mask off and then just do normal stuff? Like I don't get why in this there's a fly in here. Why in this country it's like, oh yeah, so you took it, but that doesn't mean what do you mean it doesn't mean? What the fuck do you mean it doesn't mean?
Yeah.
You know, like why did I get in the first place? It's so fucking I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're saying like you can still get it, it's just not as bad.
Oh,
Or
well, fuck off. Then why am I getting in the first place? You
yeah.
know, like the only reason I'm getting it, like I'm not afraid of the actual thing. I'm afraid of
Mhm.
the repercussions of the thing, which is everything being shut down, and maybe I kill my grandparents. Actually, I don't have any grandparents, but whatever. And maybe I can't go over the border. Like those are the only reasons that I'm actually getting it. So if I
Yeah.
can't do those things, I don't want your dirty needle in my fucking arm.
Yeah. You don't
You
want
know?
the donkey come from the
Yeah,
river? That's
yeah,
what it was,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. If Shrek wants to come in my butthole, and it means I can go to the border, I'll do it. But otherwise, I'm not willing to take it. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Mhm.
I don't want the Fauci ouchie. I don't want any of it. And yeah, but I think you're gonna have to. I think just the way it is. So you're gonna have to stick this goop in your arm. And people do make good points. Like you
Yeah,
have to have.
you just at a certain point you just have to conform, you know? You just
Mhm.
it sucks. You can like protest all you want, you can wear your tinfoil hats and shit, but at the end of the day you just gotta do it if you wanna like fucking be part of society. Like I don't want to just sit at home and do nothing. You know, I'm sick of this shit. I want to do comedy and like actually like chase my dreams and shit. You know, it's like I feel so like stuck. Like
And that's
fucking,
why
I feel
you
like the
see all these.
laziest person ever, but I'm not even. I
But
just
it's
don't
not
even
your
have a choice. Yeah.
And that's why you see all these people and they're like, oh, in the States, especially, don't you guys miss the lockdown? No, you fucking loser. I do not miss the lockdown. What do you do at home? Like, you sit at home and flick your bean all day? Like,
Or those people that are like, oh, I love this. Like, now I don't have to go out. I don't have to cancel my plans. It's like I stay at home anyways. It doesn't make a difference. Well, it's like, okay, well then keep staying at home and let us go out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's like
like,
exactly.
Like, I
You
don't
can still
care
Zoom
if
with
you
your
like to
friends.
stay at home. Fucking stay at home then and don't
Yeah.
talk to me.
Just it's like, just be honest. It's like, it
Yeah.
doesn't have to, oh, I would, but just be like, I would, but I don't want to. I don't want to see you. I don't want to smell you. I don't want to text. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, I want to do that. Just be honest with people, man. But like, as soon I'm like itching to get out and like see human beings, and it's weird, man. Like, I go for a walk every day now. I think I told you this, and like, and it's just because I'm bored, and not bored, but like I just can't be in the house any longer. And you see people and you try to talk to them, or like you try to walk beside them on a sidewalk and they like go 25 feet away, you know, like you just blew a nasty fart out of your asshole or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not gonna give you, like, it's, no one transmits this shit outside. Like, give me a goddamn break.
Yeah.
So.
You just like hold your breath. When you walk by people.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? Or like the people who like, they'll like, oh, and they'll like get their mask and like put it on. It's like, go across the side. Like, if you really
I kind of do that, but like not because I'm scared. I'm just trying to. I don't want the other person to get mad at me. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'll put my mask on or whatever.
If I see older, even though I know I'm not going to transmit to anybody else, even if I have it like outside, you know, because of science, I still will like walk on the other side, especially if it's like an elderly person who might not, you know, I'll just like to be not a dick. But as soon as everyone's had the opportunity, and it's like you have it because you wanted it, or the only reason you don't have it is because you didn't want it.
The vaccine you're talking about.
Right. Yeah. I'm coughing on people. I'm shaking hands. Like, you know what I mean? I shook someone's hand today for the first time in months, you know, and it's like, I don't know, it's weird, man, when you meet people and like it's so awkward because like there's a very, it's like human nature, like smile, speak, handshake, like it's a thing that we do here. And now it's like what do I do with my hands? You know, it's like the fucking Will Ferrell thing. So no, just it's like unnatural. And like with a mask too, like, yeah, do it like if they tell you to do it and stuff. Like, I'm not an anti-masker, but it's just for human nature, it's not normal to not see someone's face when you
dude, like social cues are so hard. Like, I remember going to the grocery store and it's like there was like a security guard or something and she smiled at me, but she's wearing a mask, but I could tell by like the rest of her face. And like I smiled back and I felt so stupid smiling back. I'm like, could she even tell? Like, I kind of gave her like a little smirk, like my whole face. She might just think I'm like I don't even know, you know what I mean? It just felt so weird. I was like, this is so weird now, when it used to just be smiling at each other, and now it's like, fucking, like, I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean, like, who want, unless you have like super jacked up teeth. Like, the whole country of England must have been really pissed off when they said no more masks, you know?
Yeah.
But besides that, like, that would actually be like a good sketch, actually, like what goes on behind people's faces, and you can just see like a 20% opacity of like a mask, and it's like you have to smile like this just so fucking people can see. You know what I mean? Like, you almost like put your neck out. So it's weird. It's super weird. But I guess like the super grouchy ladies at the grocery store would cash you out and they're like, do you have PC optimum points? Those people must be like really happy because you don't have to see them like frown at you, you know?
True, but it would also suck like having to wear a mask like 8 hours. Like, when I wear it for a bit, it's like I like start to sweat and shit. Like, obviously you can breathe fine with it, but even though like they have people that don't wear them and stuff, and then you get like the fucking people that are like so aggressive and they're like, put on fucking mask. You know what I mean?
I saw that in the garden center at Zare's the other day, and there was this guy who was clearly on steroids working at the garden center, and he's wearing a mask, and he had his like a chin diaper, you know. And I'm like, dude, I am sweating. Like, I'm a small dude and I'm sweating my balls off with this mask on. It feels like the most disgusting thing on my face. And this dude is jacked up on steroids 100%. And I'm like, this dude is sweating. It looked like his shirt is a different color than it was when he put it on. And he's wearing this thing, and this lady comes up to him, sir, do you have a mask, puts his mask on. Yeah. Do you have whatever she was asking for in the garden center? It's like, really? You're outside and you're 6 feet apart. Like,
that reminds me of like fucking Awesome Powers. It's always like mold, you know? Mask.
Sir, I'm aware that I have a blue mask on my face. That's so stupid, man. Like this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and it's like I know I sound ignorant and I sound stupid, but I don't know. I'm just frustrated, and I think most of us are,
Mhm.
especially like and I think Kyle Lucy said it best on his podcast. I've been listening to his podcast quite a bit, and he's like, man, like the only people that are cool with it continuing like this are people who didn't have anything to lose in the first place. And he used the example, which is actually a better lifestyle than like or like a more, I don't know, the lifestyle that I'm going after. People will put me on a plane and fly me out to talk to 500 people to make them laugh, pay me for it, and then I can go back to my room, which is also paid for, to jerk off to porn that was also paid for by the people who paid for my room, and then go home. And it's like that is an awesome lifestyle. The only people that want to
Mhm.
be locked down still are the people who were locked. And actually, Ryan Long did a sketch about that too. And it's just like these people that want, like, this was their lifestyle before. They're hermits. They want to stay inside, and they want. Well, now I've got no. I have an excuse to be lazy. I was lazy before, and this is my lifestyle before, but now I
Mhm.
have an excuse. So as soon as lockdown's over, then I have to be reminded that I'm a useless piece of shit. And it's like, and not my words. That was the sketch.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, I kind of agree with it. Like I don't know. I just think, like I said before, you if you don't want to see people, just be honest about it and be like, yo, man, like I got an anxiety problem. I don't like seeing people, whatever. Just be honest and just let the rest of us like go back to licking faces at comedy clubs, you know?
Mhm.
This is the most ignorant podcast I've ever done. It must sound like such a
I
fucking
fucking
douchebag.
love it, yo. Let's party.
Yeah. I man, I felt like such a douchebag today. I almost defended Joe Rogan on Facebook. That's how much of a
Ooh.
douchebag. Man, that's like because he said that I haven't watched it yet, so I would never comment as if
You
I
were
know
gonna
something.
defend him without even watching
Exactly.
it.
That's why I didn't. Right? Because like there was that thing before where he got in trouble with saying that he wasn't going to get vaccinated, and all the headlines
Mhm.
were he says you shouldn't, blah blah. But then so I listened to the podcast, the whole thing in its entirety. It was the one
Mhm.
with Andrew Santino. He didn't say anything like that. He just said that I'm not going to get it because I don't feel like I'm at risk.
Yeah.
But the idea of getting it to protect other people makes a lot of sense. So what he said was made complete sense.
Yeah,
100%.
and he's always like that. He's so chill and like, you know what I
Mm.
mean? He's not like really forceful. He's like live and let be kind of vibes, you know? He's very chill.
Dude, if you had $100 million, would you give a fuck what anyone else was doing? Of course not. Of course, he doesn't
Really,
have
like
time. You know,
he's
like
awesome. Like if I had that much money, I'd probably be way crazier than he is, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's what. So for him to say like, "Oh, I want to push an agenda," he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, he's got his wife and his family, and he's probably fucking bitches on the side or whatever. And he's got like all the most famous people in the world are his friends. Like he has the best
Yeah.
life. He doesn't give a shit if
Mhm.
you get a needle or not. And this is the same thing with this thing later in the like last week or like 2 days ago or whatever. And he was saying in the headlines it was, "Oh well, straight white men aren't going to be able to talk anymore." And like I saw these people like oh, he's a piece of shit and he's a loser, and it's like, did you listen to it? Because I didn't, but I can almost guarantee
Mhm.
those are not the exact thing that he said.
Yeah. They
So I'm gonna
always try to
listen.
get like so many clicks with like the most like fucking crazy shit. They just like
You
everyone
can make a living, man. You can make
does
a
that
living
on
doing that.
Facebook. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy,
So
man.
why
Um,
wouldn't you?
I feel like the next issues is gonna be like worse. Like you know, like fucking overpopulation or like climate change, all like the fucking plastic in the oceans. Like apparently, like I watched like Seaspiracy and they're saying
Me
like
too.
all the fish are gonna be gone like in our lifetime. Like all the fish in the ocean. Like how's that possible? And there's like giant like fucking islands of plastic and shit. That seems like way worse than COVID, and yet there's like with COVID, it's like the whole world, like they got the whole world to wear masks instantly. You know what I mean? The whole world's getting vaccines. It's like so easy to force the whole world to do whatever you want. It seems like why can't we like fix these other problems?
Yeah, that is a valid point. And I watched Seaspiracy too, and if there was any takeaway from it, it's that us as individuals are not responsible, but we're the ones that are having our plastic straws taken away, and we're the ones being felt like made feel guilty when it's actually fisheries and it's the
Yeah.
fishing industry that is responsible for. I forget the number. It was like 80% plus, right?
Well, like half of apparently like half the plastic in the ocean is fishing nets from
Yes,
these like
alone.
fisheries and shit, which is
Mhm.
crazy that they just throw in the fucking water when they break or whatever. And it's like they're made for catching fish, so they like literally do that. It's like you get the picture of like the turtle with like a straw through its face or whatever. But most of the time it's just these nets and shit doing way more fucked up shit.
Yeah, and that's the point, right? Is they make the guilt on us, but then all these like organizations, wildlife organizations,
Hmm.
and these environmental organizations own part of these fucking fisheries. So of course
That's
they're not going to shut
crazy.
them down.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? It's like it's as if fucking PETA owned slaughterhouses. It's like
Hmm.
that. Of course they're not going to shut them down because they own part of them. They're making money off of the thing that they're opposing.
Hmm.
So it's like what the left hand, the right hand is what the left hand is doing. And that's why people like in politics, it is true at the end of the day, like if someone donates to you, you're going to do whatever the fuck they want you to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you disagree with this, like, I don't want to have a conversation with you. You're dumb because if someone's giving you money, you're going to do it. Otherwise, they won't give you money next time. So
Yeah.
you're beholden to them. So, and it's the same. The corporations give to this both fucking parties. So to say that corporations don't run at least the U.S. I'm not saying the whole world, but it's most countries is dumb, super dumb.
Hmm.
It's just so obvious. And when people are like, well, your vote counts, and like maybe it does, I guess, but at the end of the day, like I think it like both. It doesn't really matter. Like both environmentally, nothing's going to change with either one of them. And the only thing that changes is how much money is taking for fucking carbon tax. Like, give me a goddamn break.
Well, like with like the people having like no power or whatever, like I mean I guess you could like choose not to spend your money at the, like, you know what I mean, you could choose not to buy fish or whatever. I
Yeah,
don't
and I
know.
don't because I'm allergic to
Yeah.
fish mostly. But
Oh, really? Shit,
yeah.
damn.
Well,
You
like
were already doing your part before this fucking documentary.
yeah. So
I
like
love
I'm
like
actually a
sushi,
hero.
so I was like, "Fuck, that sucks." When I watch this stuff, it's like, because like you think when you're like getting like fish and shit, you're like eating healthy, and really you're not. You know, it's like full of mercury and all that shit.
Well, I think that goes back to like what we started with, which is if you're on one side or the other super hard, you're dumb
Mm,
because
yeah.
like and I see like all these people like everyone who has a fifth grade understanding of money knows that this carbon tax doesn't help anything. It's just a cash grab. But you see these people because they're so far on the side, they side with it, even though they
Right.
know, right? Because they're not dumb people, that it's not going to do anything. And it's the same thing with this fish thing too. Like you're either like so far like, oh, I'm a capitalist and if it makes money, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's like, well, I'm a capitalist too. Like I like money. But
Hmm.
at the same time, I understand that like the fish industry is not sustainable the way that we're doing it. We have to do it a
Yeah.
different way, and they're guilting us, but really it's them who are destroying the entire planet. And guess what? Until Elon does what he's doing, we only have one of these. So maybe we shouldn't fuck it up.
But even like if like Mars does get terraformed, whatever terraformed, um,
Mhm.
could it ever be as dope as Earth? Like it would take like a billion years, and even then, like, do they like? I don't
Well,
know.
it
It
doesn't
would never. It'd be so hard to do. Like,
it doesn't have an atmosphere, man. And
yeah.
like we haven't made an atmosphere on
How do?
on a
Yeah.
you
How can
know.
you make an atmosphere? You know.
So
Will you
well,
live in domes always? Like, what's the plan? Do you know what the plan is?
yeah, and I don't even know if that's true. I think it does have an atmosphere, but it's not
Mm,
oxygen. I forget. I'm dumb, like I said.
yeah.
All I'm saying is that you can't
Same.
live on it without a suit right now.
Yeah.
Like you
Exactly.
can't live on it without like stuff. So, and I've never watched that Matt Damon movie, but I imagine I'd feel a lot
Where he
smarter if I
eats his
did.
own poop. Or no,
Does he really?
he grows potatoes in his poop.
Oh, that
He
makes
doesn't eat
sense.
his own poop, yeah.
Yeah, so apparently if you get garlic that was made in China, they use almost all human feces to fertilize that.
Wow, that's
Which or I
wild.
read that on Reddit, so it must be true. You can't lie on there. So
It seems legit.
yeah. So that's why I want to grow my own garlic because I'm not gonna feed
Apparently it's
someone
super
garlic.
easy to grow too. I want to grow my own garlic. I've been getting into fucking gardening and shit. I got some house plants. And I've been making balls of dirt like the one I gave you.
I love that ball of dirt. It's still sitting on one of my tables.
Awesome. Good shit. I made like fucking probably like 20
So how
or
do you
more.
make those? Because it's like seems like pretty professional ball of dirt.
I got one here. This one's pretty sweet.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
So what's the process? Like how do you make those?
So you grab some dirt and then you like roll it into a ball. And then you like maybe let it dry a little bit and then you grab like a jar, like a ball or something, and you just like roll it on there to like smooth it out and it gets all shiny.
Really?
It's like a slow process. Yeah, it like takes a bit. Like yours I probably worked on for like 4 hours or something.
So you don't have to like bake it or
No,
nothing?
no,
Oh,
yeah, you just like roll it on the top of a bottle.
that's impressive, dude, because
Yeah.
that looks like a very professional. It's the nicest ball of dirt I ever saw.
I know. I told you it was gonna be right.
Yeah, man. Like I had a girl in grade 3 who gave me a ball of dirt, like she had a crush on me,
hmm
and it was way better than that ball. That bitch can fuck off. If I was in grade 3, I would marry you for sure.
Damn.
That's the coolest ball of dirt ever.
Thanks, bro.
The best ball of dirt I ever saw in my entire life.
Yeah, it's fucking. I don't know. Like I'm literally so bored. Like I can't do comedy anymore, and like I feel like it's good to like get outside and not like stare at a screen all the time playing video games, watching your videos and shit. You know.
Well,
Um.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I this weekend I'm building a tortoise enclosure
Mhm.
outside, and I don't know if you've seen the price of lumber lately.
Yes, I've seen you rage about it. I know that.
The most expensive tortoise enclosure that has ever been built. I'm gonna make this weekend. It's just so
Yo, there's a
sick.
lot of trees around here. We'll cut down some trees.
Man, that's what I said, man. I'm like, I bet you if I paid minimum wage to some kid to cut down a tree and build a sawmill in my backyard and make two by fours,
Yeah.
it would have been cheaper than buying this fucking wood at Home Depot. Good
Yeah.
God. Holy shit. And it's like, man, this world sucks. It's so expensive to buy this, and you can't even walk into a store. I have to like order it and wait for them to be like, okay, we're ready for you now to come buy our
Yeah.
product. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, but at least now they load it in the back of the truck. They're just like, yeah, it's curbside pickup. I'm not getting out of my truck. I'm afraid of COVID. You know what I mean? Like, you can load that shit back
Oh,
there.
sick. Yeah, that's dope. So there's some upsides. A couple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have to. Yeah, yeah. You can't see your friends. It's illegal to go
Yeah.
anywhere, but you don't have to lift 2x4s. So
Yeah.
there you go. I mean, actually, during this COVID thing, my buddy he owns a renovation business, and
Mhm.
he had like a pallet of 2x4s dropped off, and he called me. He's like, "Hey man, can you help me move a couple 2x4s?" I thought that was a weird request, and then I showed up, and it was a pallet of fucking 2x4s. Like,
Fuck.
all right, where are we going with these? Oh, in the basement, the lower basement. Oh, that's good. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was good. Fucking freezing outside, slipping. Yeah, it was good. It was a good time. But you know what? Stuff like that was like nice this COVID. Like it's like
Yeah.
this Christmas, this COVID, because like you get to like see people, even if it was like helping them move lots of trees into their basement.
Yeah. It's so weird, like that we've been going through this for so long, and like even just talking about it for so long. Like I remember like over a year ago now talking about it on the podcast, and it's like so trippy.
Well, it's like because before this, man, like there was nothing like this. And I remember they
Mhm,
canceled when they canceled the NBA game. And I'm like, there's no way this is real life that this is
mhm.
happening. They're canceling an NBA game. Like there's, what was the gate of this NBA game? Millions of dollars with the tickets, and they're canceling it. And then like a week later, I remember I went home and I was like ready to go to the comedy club because it was the last week of the preliminary round of Top Comic.
Yeah, I was on that night. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember like I had my drone up because I saw an accident on the way home, and I'm like, I'm gonna go fly my drone over there and be super like nosy about it. And Zach Shade messaged me, and he's like, "Hey man, just so you know, tonight's canceled." And I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I was ready to start walking. I was
Mhm.
already pounding shots, ready to start walking. And sure enough, David Green posted it. Hey, we're sorry for everyone's safety. And I thought it was gonna blow over in like 2 weeks.
Mhm. Same.
That was like 60 something weeks ago, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so
Yeah.
fucked.
And I remember he said he's like, I want to finish Top Comic before the end of the year. And then, everything kind of opened up again and we started doing show, and then everything closed down again in December, and
Yeah.
then it opened up again, and then now it's closed. I don't know, man. This whole province is fucked the way that they're doing it. But and that's the thing, never wants to blame Doug Ford, but at the same time, it's like, could you do any better? Could the other
Mhm.
party do it? Like, probably not. He's only taking his advice from doctors, and it's the same doctors that the other party would take their,
Mhm.
so I don't agree with what he's doing, but at the same time, do I really think anyone else would have done better? Not really.
Well, like I look at like the graphs and shit of like the numbers in Ontario, and it's like it kind of lines up. Like when he shuts shit down, it's like they start going down. It's like when he opens shit up, that's when like we got like another big wave and shit. And it's like, and now like the numbers are like going down. Like every day is less than the day before.
Yeah, and like I think that there's like breaking points with each thing, and like I don't know, the thing that pissed me off about the other side was like New Zealand shut down borders immediately. and that's why they were like, and they're an island, of course, so it's a little bit
Yeah.
easier. Like it's a different thing, but at the same time, like fucking what's his name, Sultan Trudeau, there with his magic carpet and blackface, he didn't shut anything down forever, and it's like just like and now it's all shut down but it's like you should have shut down immediately, and like
Yeah,
we still
shut
have
down like
flights.
hard and fast. You know what I mean? Like no,
Yeah,
cut
and
everything
we
out. Like
still have flights coming in.
I know it's crazy. That's
know what I
what's so
mean?
weird to me is that like flights are allowed, but like you can't cross the border in your car though.
You can't even drive to Manitoba or Quebec. You can't cross a provincial border. You can't buy. I need a new pair of shorts because all my shorts are like ripped or like stained or something. I can't go and buy a new pair of shorts at a store. You can't buy masks. You can't buy face masks just because it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so dumb.
You have to get it off the internet. You had to go.
So dumb. But you can buy Crown Royal. So you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Whoa! Don't! They're gonna take it away, bro. If you fucking.
They'll never take it away. Because can you imagine? Can you imagine all like the actual alcoholics if they shut down the liquor stores and they couldn't get it anymore? They'd be making bathtub vodka, going blind, making wood alcohol, all this shit. So that's why everyone's bitching about that.
No, I'm kidding.
Like, yeah, it's like fuck, you have a disease, fuck you. And all the diabetics, you can go fuck yourself too.
Yeah, fuck you.
You asthmatics, no Ventolin for you.
Fuck you out of it.
I want to listen to you choke to death on your own lungs. Yeah, but it's like,
for the record, I'm kidding.
I know. Yeah, and then just for the record, I'm also joking with the diabetics and alcoholics.
Yeah,
it's like you see these all the time. It's like I can't go to a restaurant with my family, but these alcoholics don't want to go to the ICU, so we should keep. You know what I mean? It's like you're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that for the most part, I can criticize as much as I want. I sound ignorant and dumb, but I'm just frustrated. Could I have done any better? No, I couldn't have. And yeah, I think the people that are in power, they're obviously doing the best job that they can. And on both sides, right? Like I know.
Well, no, there's always like I feel like all those people are a little sketchy. You know what I mean? There's just
anyone who wants that much power.
I'm like biased, I guess, and like maybe I'm brainwashed by all the conspiracies, which is kind of funny. But I always just like I don't know. I never really like any politicians. They always just seem like they're like a little like I don't know.
None of them are real people, man.
Yeah.
If you want that level
they don't
of power,
feel real. Yeah, it's almost like they just don't seem like.
Why would you want that level of power? Why? There's no like anyone who wants that level of power is not all there. You know what I mean? Like I get wanting to be super rich, but to be that, to be the premier of something or the president of something, it's like that's a shitty job. Why would you want? That's so much stress for so little payoff.
And it's like they're never liked, they always get so much hate. It's like, don't you want to be liked?
You ever realize too that they always go on these tours after, like, so the president of the US makes, I think it's 500,000 now. It was 400,000 for a while, and now it's 500,000, I think. And then so you make 500,000, you're not allowed to like be running any other businesses, right? As you're in office. And then all of a sudden they are worth like hundreds of millions when they leave office.
Yeah.
Well, how did that happen? Or they get like book deals, or they get like these speaking tours, and they're getting paid like $250,000 to speak to a university. So you're telling me that and here's how it is, man. And this is my opinion, and I'm dumb and ignorant. This isn't a thing, but it's just how I think about it. So these people sponsor your campaign, right? You do what they want you to do in office.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it comes back around and they pay you to speak at the university. It just seems very obvious to me. But again, I'm stupid and tinfoil looks good on my head. So it is what it is.
Yeah, man. And I feel like with this shit, like, even if people know, they still don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. You can talk about it. It does nothing. Like the whole Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself shit. It's like, yeah, but it's not like that matters. Like, they don't care that everyone posts those memes or whatever. Like, the people that like want that information kept under like whatever, you know what I mean?
And then the thing is just like gone, like that Maxwell lady, whatever her name is. And it's like clearly, so obviously, like she's guilty. He didn't kill. And then it's just like she's still in jail and the trial's still going on or whatever. And no one talks about it. Like, why are you talking about it? But also, again, I'm dumb and I don't know if that.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's like it's almost like too much information all the time. You can't like get it all and like make an informed decision because it's like every day there's like so much shit. Like you can never watch every movie, you can never watch every porno or whatever, you know.
I
Fucking
stress about that one all the time.
yeah,
I always,
yeah,
like Bang Bros comes with a new one, and I'm like, shit, did I miss the
yeah.
last episode? Am I gonna get this one?
It's like there's just too much like shit almost, I feel like, where it's like back in the day when my parents were like growing up in the 70s, like you knew every band there was to know because there was like
Mhm.
only so many successful bands. Now there's like so much successful music, it's like you can't, and they're all like doing good, which is like maybe better in a way, but also
It
like
is.
worse. I don't know.
I think it is better because it's more competitive. So you
Yeah.
have to be that much better than, and that's
Mhm.
why athletes are way better. Like always, everyone
But
always
why is
says
there so
like,
much shitty music that's good? Like, you know, I mean that
well, because it's that. Well, Bo Burnham did a like a parody about it, right? Like in
repeat
his
stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, and that's true, but I think at the end, like with sports is like a great example when people are like, "Oh, what would happen if Bill Russell in his prime, this is like the NBA superstar, or Wilt Chamberlain, who was like a huge superstar in like the '60s. What would happen if he played one on one with LeBron James? LeBron James
LeBron
would
James would
fuck his
destroy him.
asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
exactly.
wouldn't even be close. And it's not because Wilt Chamberlain wasn't the best of his time; he
Hmm.
was, but technology is so much better now. Nutrition is so much better now.
Hmm.
Training is so much better now. In the 60s, football players didn't lift weights because they thought they were going to get bulky and slow.
Yeah.
Like, and then now there's not a football
Mm.
player on this earth that, doesn't lift every week. So,
And like you always build on the past, right? It's like LeBron James probably learned from whatever that other guy's name is, where that other guy couldn't learn from LeBron James. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And
It's not
like,
like you could copy any of his moves or anything. He didn't even doesn't exist
and that's why,
yet.
in my opinion, Michael Jordan is still the best because Kobe, like, if you watch Kobe's game, and he admitted when he was alive, like, if it wasn't for this guy, there would be no me.
Right.
And it's the same thing with like LeBron. So LeBron had like not only Michael, but he had this like Kobe as well to look at.
Hmm.
So in my opinion, if I had to choose one on one, I would probably pick LeBron. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster. But I think of the greatest of all time for their generation is Michael Jordan, in my opinion.
Hmm.
I just think, and I know people say, "Oh, Bill Russell won 10 or 11 or however many fucking he won," but yeah, I still think that like Michael Jordan's the man. So plus I watched Last Dance, so I'm brainwashed.
I don't know. I watched Space Jam. That's about as far as my basketball
Yeah.
shit.
Man,
I
Space Jam is
watched a
awesome.
couple Raptors games when like the Raptors were doing good shit. Was
Man,
that
I
like
love
2 years
sports.
ago now? I don't even know when that was, but
2019.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Feels
Yeah,
like
man.
yeah.
And they missed the playoffs this year for the first time in 8 years. Yeah, I'm a
Oh, wow.
Celtics fan, but I am like on board. And I, as much as I hate the Leafs because I'm a Bruins fan, uh, it would be cool to watch the Leafs win. The energy would be. I hope the Leafs win when the world is open and I can go to a bar. I want
Yeah.
them to win when I'm in a bar full of Toronto fans because those fans are crazy. And I remember I was at a bar when the Raptors won, and the energy was like insane. It was crazy. So it was
Yeah.
fun, and I wasn't even a fan. So I
Hmm.
used to hate teams, but like now, if Montreal or Toronto won this year, I think it'd be pretty cool to watch because they haven't won it forever. They're
Yeah, it
shit.
is sick when like a home team or whatever near your city like wins, because then it's like there's so many fans. It does get so hype, you know, and it's sick.
Yeah, the Blue Jays too. Even when they were in the
Yeah.
playoffs in like 2015 and stuff, it was fun to watch. I mean, I bought a Blue Jays shirt in 2015. Like I'm a Red Sox fan, so like
You fucking
we've
poser.
yeah, we won 3 since I've been alive. So, since the majority of the world has been alive, the Leafs and the Blue Jays have won none. So, yeah.
So if shit does start like opening up again ever, what are your plans as far as like comedy? Do you have like goals and shit?
Yeah.
That and like ideas that you want to talk
Yeah.
about at all?
Well, I want to start getting better, first of all. Right now, I've got more time to write jokes and stuff. But, and I have been, and I just have more time to like devote to it, right? Because I had a day job before, so now I don't.
Mhm.
But the end goal eventually, hopefully, like in the near future, move to the US,
Mhm.
make videos during the day, like shoot videos, send them to an editor so you can deal with all that shit. And then at night, do comedy like around the US and then build a following that way. And even if I have to start at
Like
like doing,
travel and shit even. That'd
yeah,
be sweet.
yeah, man, even if I have to start at like open mics, I don't
Mhm.
give a shit, man. I just, these are the two things that I like doing.
Mhm.
And if you asked me when I was 5, what do you want to do? I want to be an animal not activist, but like educator. If you asked me when I was, 12 or 13, what do you want to do? I want to be a stand-up comedian. So if I can do
That's
both.
wild that you had both those things so
Mhm.
young. Like for some reason, like I always loved comedy and Mitch Hedberg and stuff, but like I never even thought about being a comedian. For some reason, I just like didn't think like that was an option for me.
When I was a kid, I would watch like a documentary about lions,
Hmm.
and then I would like pretend to be a lion. So like, you know, I'm not even joking. Like everything I've ever like watched, there were certain things that like I want to be that.
Yeah,
And the two things that really stuck were I wanted to be an animal educator and I
yeah.
want to be
So I know with the animal thing, it was like Steve Irwin, right? That
yeah, crats, creatures, and like stuff like that. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And
So would you was there like a comedian that like first really made you want to become a comedian, or was
yeah,
it
Jeff
just like a
Foxworthy.
genre?
Yeah, Jeff
Oh,
Foxworthy.
sick.
The first book I ever read was a book by Jeff Foxworthy, and it was on my parents' nightstand. And I think it was called "You Might Be a Redneck." And that was the first book I ever read. And then I watched Blue Collar Comedy, and then right after that, I found George Carlin, and it was like, oh, this is a different thing.
Hmm.
And then I got really into stand up, and I tried stand up once when I was 19. But then I was like, okay, so am I going to do stand up or am I going to be a bodybuilder? And I chose bodybuilding. And
Why?
then,
Why would you? You
well,
really
because
are an idiot, Adam. No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding. I love you.
but you get way more pussy with big muscles than doing
True.
shitty open mic. So,
That's a good
um,
point. Why wouldn't you?
yeah, I don't know, man. I liked it. Like at the end of the day, like if I never fucked my shoulder up, I would have continued doing that. I love bodybuilding. Like it was like a true. If I could do three things, like that would be the other thing. But yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like I want to continue doing both of those things. And in comedy, like even if I never become like one of these big guys and I never like go on Rogan or anything, like I don't give a shit. I just want to be able to like make a decent living and be respected by the comedy community and be good at comedy. I just want to be good. That's it. I don't want to like use my YouTube fame to, fill clubs. I want to like, or if I
Right.
do, I want people to show up and be like, "Oh, this dude's actually funny." Like I actually want to be good at
Yeah.
that.
I mean, you can't really like mix them, right? Because what are you gonna do? Like whip out a snake on stage? You can't do that. People
Yeah,
will be
you
like, "Who the
see,
fuck is this act? Like, who is
yeah,
this fucking?"
why does this guy have a lizard? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see like these YouTubers that are super famous, like way like millions of
Mhm.
subscribers, and they'll fill comedy clubs just to talk, and it doesn't go well because I mean, like
Right.
comedy is not one of those things where you can just be like, let me try that, then you're good. Like you have to try it for years. You have to,
Yeah.
So I just want to, if I were to do that and like try to cross them over and try to like bring an audience, I've been doing comedy for longer than I've been doing YouTube. And you see these
Mm.
other guys like Noah Barchuk. So Brian Barchuk is the biggest reptile guy on YouTube, like the biggest guy. And
Mhm.
his son just started doing comedy like this month, right? And he's got 200,000 subscribers and he's got a huge following on Instagram and people come see him. And I mean, I haven't seen it. I would assume it's dog shit because
Yeah.
everybody is dog shit when they start.
Yeah.
But he's
Except for
posting on
me, but
YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah, well, you were the best, right? You could be like, yeah. Uh the next Taylor Grant. And if you grew better hair.
All right,
And
go on.
yeah, and
Go
washed it
back
or
to
whatever.
Brian Barchuk's son about him being
Yeah.
whatever.
And then there was this other guy, Justin Kubelka, who's like a big ball python breeder guy
Mhm.
and well respected. And he tried to do comedy too, and he did it one time. And it's like, okay, but what if you had like this YouTube following and then you brought it to your audience, but you were already into comedy for several years?
It's
And I
almost
think,
like you have a secret weapon in your back pocket, you know?
right.
You got this ace of your sleeve. Yeah, that's actually sick. Um, but like I want to backpedal a bit. Like, I didn't know that you love bodybuilding like so much. What did you love about it? Like, what'd you love about it?
Well, it's like, I don't know, like everyone makes fun of Arnold for that scene in Pumping Iron where he's like, the pump is like coming, right? Like I go to the gym and I'm coming in the gym and I go home and I'm coming with women at night. And he says that and but it kind of is like the feeling of like going to the gym and accomplishing
Mhm.
something or like watching your body change or like setting goals. And I'm very like goal oriented. And I don't know, man, I just really loved it. Like I really love bodybuilding. And
I
if I
could
never
see that, like the progress and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun and the camaraderie of like the buddies that you meet, because it's a weird thing, dude. Like, and all of us that were ever a bodybuilder or like competed or whatever,
Hmm.
like all of us have body dysmorphia. And so I think that like, I don't know, ever since I was a kid, like my dad used to work out in the basement and I thought like that was the coolest thing, so I wanted to work out too. And then I learned out what bodybuilding was, and then I found guys like Dorian Yates and Kai Green, and that's when I really got into it. When I think my first year watching the Olympia was the last year that Jay Cutler won, so that would have been like 2009 or something. And yeah, I just got like obsessed with it, and I started going to the gym. And then I decided I'm just going to go to the gym like 3 days a week, and I'm just going to get like, in better shape so I can get better pussy. And then it turned into an obsession. And then I went to a bodybuilding competition in 2013. And then the guy who owned Showtime, me and Matt, we were together, and he's like, yo, we should try this next year. And then we both did. And then I just became hooked. And then 2 years later, I tore my shoulder apart, and I decided I was going to do comedy and make snakes fuck instead.
Fucking love it, man. That's sick. What does body dysmorphia mean?
Oh, it just means that you like you look in the mirror and you see a different thing than what's actually there. It's the same thing that like bulimics and anorexics see.
Oh, right, like super
Yeah.
skinny, but they see a super fat person when they look
Right.
in the
Yeah,
mirror.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, so like I look
yeah.
I look at pictures of myself now from back, not even like on stage, because I was like, yeah, man, like if you're gonna compete in bodybuilding, just take steroids. Like you're gonna hurt
Yeah.
yourself otherwise. It's gonna fuck you up. But I look at myself like before I competed, and I was just like eating a normal diet, not depleting. And it's like, man, I would walk through the mall and people would look at me like, what the fuck is this? Like, is this a fucking human thumb? What is this? That is what is it? This isn't a human being. And but I didn't see that. I saw like the same skinny dude, and then like
Yeah.
now I'm kind of a skinny dude again. And I'm cool with it now because like I have value in myself for other things.
Hmm.
But at the same time, if man, there's no amount of money I wouldn't pay to like have a better, like a physique like that again. It was awesome. Like I just feel like it makes you, I don't know, kind of feel better about yourself. And maybe that's like an illness of some sort, but you know, I liked looking like that.
Hmm. It is wild because you almost look like two different people, right? Like I
Mhm.
wonder what I would look like if I got super jacked. Because it's like,
You changed it. Even your
yeah,
face, man. Like I look at my face now and it's like, how did my face change so much? And it's just simply because I don't train anymore and I don't really like watch what I eat as much. So your face changes too. So it's like everything about you completely changes. So
yeah.
I don't know. I've been trying to get back into shape now because I've got like time. But
Mhm.
man, the gyms aren't open, and it's a difficult thing, dude. It's a difficult thing. So I don't know. I really love that sport. If there's anything that like if I could change anything that ever happened, it would be like learning to not fuck my body up and like take care of my body so I didn't destroy my shoulder. That would be like the one thing.
So like, is it because you didn't do steroids is that's why your shoulder got fucked up? You think?
Oh, that's probably a part of it. Like, but who
Yeah.
knows, right? Because like for the way that like everyone's body's built like a certain way, and that's why there's certain skinny dudes who are like super strong. And I
Hmm.
was like that. I was like really strong for my size just because the way my shoulders are set up. But also, I didn't like adhere to proper. I wasn't like paying attention to proper form. I was like paying attention to like I weigh 150 pounds and I'm stronger than all these guys who are over 200 pounds. So I'm just going to keep putting up as much weight as possible. And I think that was a lot more to do with the fact that, and also like when you're training and your testosterone level is way down because you're natural and you're dieting and your testosterone level is way down, you're going to hurt yourself if you continue to lift too heavy. So yeah,
Hmm.
I think if I had to blame it on anything, it was just my own stupidity, not as
You
much as
went
like,
too hard. You were just
yeah,
didn't know when to stop.
yeah, because like you watch all these videos and it's like
Yeah.
all this like if I die in the gym, that's right. It's like which is stupid.
Yeah.
But I was balls deep, man. I was like, yeah, who cares? Like if I pass it on this bench and like this thing, like who cares? This is what I love to do. But yeah, I think that I would have like been smarter about it. But also when you're in your 20s, like you're dumb. That's just the way it
Yeah.
is.
I'm still so dumb. We're both so dumb, but especially
Oh
me.
yeah. Yeah. Well, man, still so dumb. But like when I was in like my early 20s, like 19, 20, 21, it
Yeah.
was like I don't care what's gonna happen to me. I just want to like accomplish this goal. And I guess at the same time, I'm kind of like that now, where
Mhm.
whatever it takes to accomplish this goal, I'll do. But I don't know. Back then it was like way worse.
Do you think that like you could make videos about like something else, like the bodybuilding thing, would there even be like, obviously there is like exercise videos out there and shit. Is that something you would want to do, or
The first channel I was ever gonna make was that Wicked Fit. I remember I had it like I
is
made.
Wicked always in the name of all their YouTube channels? You got Wicked, Wet Reptiles, Wicked. You could have all
uh,
these different options. That'd be awesome.
well, no, my whiskey channel didn't have the word wicked in it, but yeah,
What
most
Wicked
of
Whiskey? It's
yeah,
perfect.
I know it would have been perfect. That's funny how you came up with that so fast. It would took me months to think of that. Yeah, man, my first YouTube
That's
channel
why it did
was
succeed. Is because you, yeah,
probably,
yeah,
and also I was lazy and didn't post.
yeah.
That doesn't help. Yeah, man, I wanted to do like fitness was my first thing, and I never did it. And then I did a whiskey channel. I did a bunch of different things that didn't work, but I would love to, because like I mean, reptiles is pretty limited. You know, it's pretty limited for like your audience. Not a lot of people like snakes and lizards and stuff. But yeah, I would love to eventually like branch out and do a lifestyle channel. I kind of started talking about this like
Mhm,
last week, but yeah, I don't know. I have to, a lot of things have to fall in place, like getting an editor to handle this channel
mhm,
first. But because I don't want to abandon this channel. Like I like doing this,
mhm.
but I would love to branch out and do something else eventually too.
I think you should bring back Wicked Whiskey, bro.
So
Just
my
even post like one video every like month or whatever, something like that. But hey,
well,
sorry to cut you off.
I love alliterations. My buddy Brian, Brian Cusco, he started a channel called Whiskey Wimps, and with him and his buddy, and
Mhm.
he does a whiskey channel. He's a reptile YouTube guy too. It'd be something cool to do. I don't know. I'd probably do a lifestyle channel because I can get everybody. But
Yeah.
I'm on a podcast tomorrow. I don't even know if it's live or not, but it's Alcohol Knots. Mark Andrews' buddy actually. So Mark Andrews is like, "Hey, would you want to be on this podcast?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" My first podcast ever was an alcohol podcast. So let's do this. So
That's awesome.
yeah, they're dropping off beer tomorrow. We're gonna do a podcast. We're gonna do like a beer tasting and stuff. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. I hope. Yeah,
How
it
many
will be.
podcasts have you done? Like different. I feel like you've done so many.
Bro, I've been doing like 2 a week for so
That's
long, at
awesome.
least. Yeah, man. I did one. I did 3 last week, and then like 3 the week before. Yeah, I do a lot of them.
Wow. So total, you've probably done like 100.
Oh yeah, well over
Wow.
100% for sure. Like last week was actually pretty fun. I did one created by creatures with Zach and Bradley, and it was cool, man. Like it was one of those things where like this guy Zach Nava Reptiles,
Hmm.
and he messaged me a year ago or longer than a year ago, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm thinking about starting a channel, or I just started a channel. Do you
Hmm.
have any advice for me?" And then so I like took some time to give him some advice, and then all of a sudden now he like brings me up all the time because I was the only guy that took time to give him advice. And it's cool because it's like, okay, well, I did the right thing because like I like helping people, but
Hmm.
it's cool when you try to help someone and they actually like take recognition of the fact that you didn't have to do that. So
Hmm.
I don't know. It's like cool. It'd be like if a professional comedian. Well, I guess I'm not like comparing myself to that, but like a higher level comedian. You went and like, hey man, if you had advice and they didn't snub you and they give you like actual practical advice and helps you gain your channel. So
Mm.
I don't know, man. It was like cool. It was like cool, like that. I got to go on his podcast after he became successful on YouTube too, and yeah, it was fun.
That's fucking dope. Why are you so fucking nice, Adam?
I like to, man. I like to get. I did a Zoom call yesterday with some kid, and it wasn't even like a podcast. It was just like, hey, I'm doing this research project for school. Will you Zoom with me so I can ask you questions? I've done a
What?
few of
That's
those too.
wild.
Yeah, man. I've done a
God
few of those too.
damn.
I just like helping people, man. And
Ah,
it's like it's a lockdown. What am I gonna go do? Like sweat my balls off
true.
outside? So or like do work and make money. I
Hmm.
mean, I just rather help people. It's more fun. It's more
That's
fun doing
awesome,
this.
man. Fuck yeah. Uh,
Mhm.
with comedy, like, have you like tried to like ask like a bigger comedian for advice or anything like that? I've never like actually done that.
Um, I told you this. I write to Bill Burr's podcast every
Hmm.
week. My question has never been read. Um, I reached out to your mom's house podcast and like, yo, I got a pretty big following and I was like at 40,000 subscribers at the time. So will
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have me on? No reply. Which obviously, why
yeah.
would you want to?
You shouldn't have flexed like that, bro. You should just went in with your question or whatever.
I should have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've reached out to like some and stuff. I mean,
Hmm.
of all the guys, like all the comedians that are local that I've like tried to, most of them have been really nice to me.
Mhm.
Kyle Lucy was like really nice to me and like gave me some advice on like gaining Instagram followers and stuff, which is funny because like if you watch his act, he seems like such like this douchebag. Nice dude. And
I've never heard of him. Is he like Toronto?
Kyle Lucy, yeah,
Yeah,
man, he was voted funniest comic under 25 for all of Canada. He was just
that's
recently
dope.
signed to
Wow.
Yuck Yucks. Yeah, I mean, he's like of all the guys that we do shows with, that's the guy that's gonna make it, in my opinion.
I've never done shows with him. Maybe you've done shows with him.
Yeah, I had him at Lux. I thought you were on that show, but I don't know.
Oh,
He's like
maybe.
he does like comedy sketches and stuff. That he's funny. And another guy, Mark Trinidad, is another guy who's like been around. Bro, he's been doing comedy for like 30 years or
I
something
know who
like that.
that is. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was another guy that was super nice to me. Man, he was talking to Jason Sheng about how funny he is and stuff. And like,
Oh, that's sick.
and Jason, he's very funny, but he's like
Mhm.
doesn't have the confidence to match. And
He's been getting better. It's cool, like with him because I actually like saw him start, like or at least really early, and then like saw him get better, which is like very few people have like seen their progress like that.
I think he's so humble that it
Mhm.
is like fun to watch too, because he doesn't have like this ego at all.
At all, yeah, yeah,
Like
that's
he
true.
doesn't
Yeah.
know how funny he is. And it was cool
Mhm.
to watch Mark watch him one time and be like, yo, dude, like your joke writing is really good. So
Mhm.
I thought that was cool, man. I thought it was like something because he had I think it was me and Ryan Sim or someone else who's been doing comedy for longer than Jason, and he didn't say anything to us. He was talking to Jason the entire time. And if that was cool, and I don't think Jason even realized it, like this veteran is talking to me over these other guys. So I thought that was
Mhm.
really cool for him. And because I don't care. And I like Mark Trinidad and him and I like I've been on I was on his podcast 2 weeks ago or whatever. So
Yep.
it wasn't like, oh, why isn't he talking? It was I was just like, that is cool. That,
Yeah,
this
I hate that. Like you shouldn't when your friends are doing good, you shouldn't get jealous. You should be happy
no.
for them, you know what I mean? So that's a perfect response.
Yeah. And Jason
Yeah.
crushed that night, man. The last few times I saw him, he was murdering. So good, man.
Mhm.
So good. But yeah, he's one of those guys too that he works really hard and he doesn't have this ego that's going to hold him back like some other guys do.
Yeah, and he's got like a good like he's like so chill and relaxed. Like I like his like style, you know, it's like unique, you know. I don't know if
He
like
is,
you
yeah.
get what I mean.
No, yeah, he's
Mhm.
very unique and like there's certain guys like that too. Like they just have like this style that is unlike anybody else.
Mhm.
And I think that he is, and he's like always evolving, getting better, and he likes constructive criticism. Where some guys, how is my set? And then if you give them one piece of like, but and like you can just hear like they shut off, like they're not listening to you anymore.
Yeah.
So
They
they
just
just
wanted that like, yo, good job, man.
yeah. And most comics I just give that to.
Yeah,
But there's
same.
guys like you and Dorinzi
Mhm.
and Jason and all these guys where it's like, and I'll tell you straight up, like
Mhm.
this bit is shit. You should, try this different.
Mhm.
And I like Dorinzi's like that with me often.
Yeah,
He's like very
same. Yeah.
brutally honest. Yeah, I
Mhm.
think he's like that with most of us. So it's
Yeah.
cool to like have guys like that are in your corner, but also they're not like yes men. They'll actually
Mhm.
tell you,
Well, like we're like friends with him. He doesn't just go up to like random comedians and start giving them fucking advice
Yeah,
on their act, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like most of
Yeah,
us feel
yeah.
like, but like I think he's so likable that most of us are friends with him, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, it's cool. I think that it's important to have that type of influence because if you only get like that's the thing too is, you become successful whatever you do, and then all of a
Mhm.
sudden, like in show business, you see that with like actors and stuff. And it's just like, yo, should I do this? Should I make a rap album? And it's like, yes, 100% Will Smith. You should definitely,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
but
he's like
really,
they're surrounded by yes men or whatever. Yeah.
yeah, it's like when really you shouldn't. So I'm just
Mhm.
glad that we don't really like. And this community is awesome. Like the Niagara comedy community is amazing, and compared
Yeah.
to the other ones, I guess just because I'm part of it. But it just feels like we're all very supportive and
Mhm.
not it doesn't feel like as toxic as like other type of communities.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's how it should be, where everyone like wants each other to exceed, or it feels that way instead of like fighting or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I felt like for like because I've been doing like 4 years now or something comedy. I don't even know because with COVID and everything. Um, and it's like I was like wanting to quit so many times, but people just kept asking me to like do shows. Like, and I
Mhm.
wasn't like ever going out of my way for like probably like a year. I like didn't even ask to be on any show. I was just saying yes to being, and I'm grateful for that now because I'm so happy. But it's like that I was like stayed in it because it's like I feel like you guys are all my friends and shit, like all the comedian Niagara region family, and even like Hamilton really too. Um, but yeah, it's like fucking, it's sick that it's like, we're like a team. I feel like I feel like if one of us gets famous, we could all get famous. You know?
So are you telling me the guy who won best joke of 2020 wanted to quit comedy for some... Yeah,
Multiple
man.
times, yeah, a lot of times. I don't know. Every comedian's fucked up. Look at Levi.
It's true.
I love you,
No, it's
Levi.
true.
He's not gonna listen to this. No one
Yeah.
listens.
Man, that was cool. I'm glad that he put that thing together, like the
Yeah.
Niagara Comedy Folk Awards.
That
So
was sick. I won a
yeah.
couple things. I won best musical act too.
I didn't win shit. I didn't win a
Oh
fucking
wait,
thing.
did I win that? No, I won
No, I
Pooh
didn't win shit.
Finger, best joke. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh, you
win
won
anything.
nicest face. You won nicest.
That is
face.
true. Yeah, I won that.
That's the one I wanted. I was surprised I didn't get that one.
Well, I think you won it, and then he like scratched your name off. And he's like, I
Yeah,
have to give this
I
bald
can't
guy
give
something.
Sab 3 awards. Yeah, true.
Yeah, man, that was, I don't know, that was fun, man. That was a good time, and I think it was fun. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, formal attire, nobody except for me. Just nobody.
Yeah, no, Ali looked nice. She wore like a dress, a fancy dress.
Yeah, Alan
like
and his
lipstick.
sister look good. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even read the formal attire thing. So when I came up and everyone was, I felt like a piece of shit. I was like, fuck, I'm in
Hey,
pajamas.
you won, man.
Yeah,
You won.
true.
Yeah, you
Fuck.
won, and yeah, a bunch of us.
I hope he keeps doing that. I like that. It was like a very, like, everyone's sucking each other's dicks or whatever. But,
Yeah, man, I hope that he keeps doing that too. And I don't think there was anyone like that was butthurt about it. Like, and most of us who didn't win shit, we didn't care. Like, it is what it
Yeah.
is. Like, it was just fun to be there. And
Yeah,
it'd be
it
more
literally
fun.
called the faux awards, like
Yeah.
fake awards anyways. So like how can you get butthurt over a fake award that means nothing?
And it'll be more fun next year when it's like not COVID. So, are you, sir? Are you shooting this? Are you with this part? It's like, shut the fuck up. I'm
Yeah.
talking to my friends, you know?
Mhm.
So I think it'll be even more fun next year when it's not like, oh, wear a mask, sit with your own
Yeah, exactly.
household.
Or like
shit.
this, or you mean this year, hopefully, right?
Yeah, like this
Yeah,
coming year. Yeah.
This December, yeah. But
I'm
even
hoping.
then, it's like, what do we even have to judge people on when you haven't been able to do comedy?
Man, I don't think shit's gonna open up until like fucking. It'll probably be October for its indoor stuff, I think.
Fuck, that makes me sad, dude.
Yeah, because it's not
Sucks.
even June yet. So I don't know, man. But that's the thing
Yeah.
is I actually don't have a clue what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
And I'm just kind of like talking at my ass. So I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that stuff opens up sooner.
I'm scared to like start comedy again almost. Like I feel like I'm not gonna be able to do it anymore. Like I like lost all like the practice that I had of like the 3 years or whatever. It's like a muscle, right? And it's like as I haven't been doing it. And I've been like asked to do all these Zoom shows and stuff, and I just keep saying no. And
Yeah,
like,
I haven't been asked to do any, but I mean, whatever. I don't want to do any though. And I feel like I agree. I see what you're saying, but we've done this before where like it was March until September where we didn't do it last year,
true.
And that's 6 months.
But this
So
feels so much longer for some
it does.
reason. Like
It does.
last time we did it was in December, right? Or was it
Yep.
November?
No, it was December.
Because last time I did it, yeah, it was at Lux at that
Same.
show.
Yeah, it was like 6 months before, and like I remember my first time doing stand up back was doing that connected coffee house thing, like in a studio in front of no audience, in front of cameras, for that thing that Dave did, and it was super weird. And the camera people weren't allowed to laugh, so it felt like you were bombing the whole time because no one's allowed to react. It was shitty, And then I started doing that show, my own show, and then we started doing. I think, man, the comedy that we were doing after COVID at Showtime was amazing. We were we were grateful for it. It was awesome. Like we all liked each other, and that's the thing with the comedy scene here is we were open when Hamilton and Toronto weren't, because Toronto was never open. Their comedy clubs have never opened. So it was cool, man. And
we were lucky to have that. I should be grateful for that.
I hope that it continues, and I hope that we get the same steam, because I think we all have this community. And like we said before, we were talking about this earlier in the week or last week, whatever, like the fun part is talking and hanging out with other comedians.
Yeah, like outside having a smoke or whatever and just shooting the shit was so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, now we like don't have that. You're not
Yeah.
allowed to like see anyone anymore. It's like illegal to go socialize with human beings. It's weird.
Yeah. It's kind of like weird that like I never like it's like you guys just like slowly all became like my best friends and now it's like my comedian group of people. I fucking love all you guys. Where it's like I didn't like notice that happen. It just kind of like became and I was like, "Oh shit," you know?
Yeah, man, it's weird too. And like you join the comedy thing and everyone's already friends and you feel like the
Mhm.
outsider and like before you know it, it's like you're cool with it. Like everyone's like cool with you.
Yeah,
I think
you're
that's
an
like
insider. Yeah, it's like I
mhm,
remember it was David and like Levi. They're like the kings of like they're
mhm.
the leaders of this shit.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I remember even like Allie said to me one time, she's like, I felt so good. You mentioned me on stage one time, and I'm like, yo, it's one of the guys, and it's like, but now you're one of the guys,
Yeah.
like, and just like before, I didn't start comedy until like 2017. So it's not like that long,
Hmm.
it was the end of 2017. So I don't know. I think it's very unique with our crew where I felt like, especially with like the other communities around here, I didn't feel like super welcome at all when I was new. And with Niagara, I never felt like that. Like I remember doing my first set ever, and I will never forget Joelle laughing at like the top of her lungs at the back.
Hmm.
So it was like super supportive, and I'm sure the shit I said wasn't even funny at all, but she was still laughing. People were still
She was
laughing, and
great. Yeah, she was so
uh,
good for when I was starting out too. I thought I was a killer because of her. I
yeah,
thought I was gonna be famous in like a
false
year, bro.
confidence.
Yeah. But it was good though. Like I remember my first show was like Vape Lounge, Levi's show. And I fucking felt like I killed it. I don't know why. I probably didn't. I wish it was like recorded or something so I could watch it.
Did
But
you know any of them, or do you just like show up?
so what happened was like Dylan Weber, like Big Dubs,
Mhm.
he was going to like the vape lounge to like smoke weed or whatever. Um and then he like saw like the comedy shows going on and he's like, I want to try this. And for some reason, him telling me that he wanted to do comedy was like, okay, sick, me too. Like I just wanted to do it like too. And then so we both did it that one night, and then he like never did it again after that. He maybe did it like once or twice, but I just kept doing it. Like first, like Levi thought I was funny. Like I killed my first night doing it, and then Levi just like kept asking me to do shows and shit, or like he'd like hooked me up. Like if it wasn't for Levi, like I never would have started because like Weber never would have seen that show at fucking the Vape Lounge.
What
And I never would have kept going either, you know?
what year? Like when was this?
It was probably like 2017, 2018 or something. I don't know. 2000, maybe 2016 even. I don't fucking know, man. Like,
Yeah,
just
because you were doing it before me. Yeah, for sure. I remember that because like you
yeah, but
were.
I when we talked about it, I feel like we almost started at the same time because like you when you first started, you weren't starting around here. You like used to drive up to like Burlington or some shit, right? Not
Yeah,
Burlington.
yeah. Like my first time was at Showtime, but remember back in the day, like you could only get on Showtime like 3 or 4 times a year. It was like every few
Yeah.
months because they were only doing every 3 weeks, and so that was my first time. And then like I
I
did it
wasn't even
every.
around for that. That's what I mean. So that's why I think we
Mhm.
started at the same time or at least close to.
Well, I saw like an amateur night in August of 2017,
Hmm.
and you were on it, and that was
Oh,
before I
okay.
did comedy. So
Oh,
you were on
okay.
it. Yeah, yeah, you were
Okay,
on it,
maybe I
and
started in 2016, but like I also like I barely did shows for like a long time. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really start grinding until like right before COVID. And then like during COVID, like I grinded pretty hard. Like I was at Showtime every Thursday that it was open because
well, I
I
think
just wanted to hold on to that, right?
it was like February or March 2019 when I
Hmm.
noticed like a big difference. You got way better really
Yeah, like
quick.
I started to write like new jokes. Like I did like
Mhm.
Pooh Finger was like December 2019, something like
Well,
that.
even like March, like that big what was that battle rapper Dirty Dan,
Yeah,
or Dirtbag Dan,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that show, and I remember like you were on it, and at first I was like, I've seen this guy do comedy. He's not that funny, and and then you did
Your
comedy,
honesty, bro.
and then like you like murdered, and then the next
Yeah.
few shows it was like, oh, this, I think it was
Thanks,
like
man.
you started writing these jokes, and I hadn't seen you for a few months,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it was like this big, like, and that happens with like a
Mhm.
lot of people when they're new, and I'm sure a lot of people have thought that. Well, actually, people probably think like this guy's still shit about me, but yeah, it's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, I remember like seeing that, and then I think who else was on the show? Levi and me and Tamor, or Tay. Tay was on. Tamor was on. It was fun, man. It was a good time. Everyone did a really good job, and then ever since then, I think that was like when stuff like started to take off. Like after the last
Mhm.
full uh top comic, I think that's like until
Mhm.
COVID, and I just hope that when it comes back, everyone comes back too. Like I hope no one quits.
Yeah, I feel like we'll get most of like the people back. We're gonna have like some people quit, like, but like obviously all the heavy hitters aren't going anywhere.
Yeah,
Um,
I hope not, man. I hope that
yeah,
everyone kind of continues doing it because it was fun, man. And I think the last top comic, the one last year, man, that was gonna be good. So many
yeah,
of us were like right at the top of our game too.
yeah. We were like getting better. Like me, you, Durinzi, like Ali has been killing it, or she was. Like it's so weird. I don't even know what anyone's been doing lately. But I feel like the reason I was starting to get good is I was like finally like being myself on stage and like not I was doing it to the point where I stopped being like so nervous going up every time. Like I would go up and panic and just do my one-liners, right? And like when I was even like starting, I would wear sunglasses on stage just like Mitch Hedberg, right? It's like
Mhm.
and I would do one-liners and people were calling me Mitch Hedberg and I didn't like that. And then it's like I finally like started to actually like find myself and like do like stories or whatever, like more long form jokes, and even like bringing up the ukulele on stage and doing my songs and shit. I
Well,
think
man, at the end you
that
were
helped. Yeah.
closing out every Showtime show because like no one really wanted to follow you. Like none of us could do better than
No,
you.
I would always show up late, and everyone always wanted to go up early, and I would always like get the last spot because fucking I'm always late.
Oh, is that man?
Yeah,
Man,
I'm happy Mark like doesn't hate me because I'd always be fucking late, and he'd still let me on the show.
there's a few times like that though. It was like you were like the last on, and I
Mhm.
was like, I don't know, I don't want to follow that guy.
Yeah,
He's doing
thanks,
wet
man.
ass pussy on a ukulele. What the
Yeah.
fuck? How am I gonna follow that? I get like, what am I gonna like? Am I gonna tell someone about my asshole getting eaten by deer for the 45th time? Like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna do to follow that? So I don't know. I mean, I just hope that everyone kind of comes back and yeah, and like it was fun too, like especially in September when there was no, oh, we have to close by 9 and shit, and we would go out and get
Mhm.
fucked up at the bar across the street after. Man, that was so much fun. And I hope that it continues doing that. And I think it's gonna be the same thing again, where it's like the whole summer's gonna go by, all the great party days when it's warm outside,
Yeah.
you can be on patios, and it's gonna be like October, and it's gonna be cold as shit. And it's gonna be like, okay, all right, go have fun, until 9 p.m. or whatever dumb time they're gonna close the
Yeah.
bars at.
If they, it's like fuck. I think they should just end it before summer because like, isn't the virus like less good in the heat or whatever? I don't know. I'm stupid. I can't even
Yeah,
talk.
that's just that was actually the scientific thing that they said.
Yeah.
They said COVID-19 is less good in the
Yeah.
heat. They said, I'm pretty sure that was a scientific thing that they said.
That sounds scientific. Yeah.
I think that, yeah, they were saying that it's way less transmittable outside,
Yeah.
especially during the day. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
So if like you could go to the beach and shit, we could just like tell all our comedian friends like go to this beach, and we'll like start like talking to each other, do comedy, or like
yeah,
we gotta do something to like flex the muscle, or because like Zoom shows doesn't work, and you actually have
no.
to like try your material. Like I've had so many ideas where it's like that's a funny concept, but I don't even know if it really is because I can never even try it on stage. So what's the point of even writing it down? And then I'm like, oh, I probably should have wrote that down, and now
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was. you
man,
know?
that's like well, okay, Mitch Hedberg. Yeah, I
Oh,
think
the
it's something.
the pen thing. I get
Yeah,
what you're saying. Yeah,
but the pen is
but
too far away.
yeah,
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 but yeah, I don't know, man. I just want shit to open up again because, like you said, like you don't know if shit's funny, and then you get like lose
yeah.
motivation to even write shit down anymore because it's
Exactly.
like how long until stuff actually starts to open up, and I think it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a
That
while
makes me
still.
so sad, man. I remember I used to be like the skeptic when it's like I'm like, when do you think shit's gonna open up? And they're like in 2 weeks, and I'd be like, it's never opening up. It makes me sad to hear you say like, oh wow.
It'll be a while, man, in this country for sure. That's like
Yeah.
and everyone's like, oh, well, why are you moving? Because, this thing will be long gone. Yeah, there's going to be another thing. And,
Yeah, there's always another thing, like you can never relax. The whole world is always fucking crazy.
yeah, and this country does
Too
not
many
react well
people.
to things. So I'm ready to leave. Thank you very much. Peace
Aren't you
out.
gonna miss us though? Like, won't you miss your family and friends and shit?
Yeah, 100%. I totally will. But I
But the
think that
sacrifice is worth it though.
it's just like there's no opportunity here, man, for what I want to do. Like there's
Yeah.
just no opportunity here for it. So yeah, I'll miss it and it's cool. And like, but I think also like there is something to be said for like leaving your hometown. And I'm not talking about, moving from Brantford to St. Catharines. I'm talking about like leaving for real your hometown,
Yeah.
so you.
Experiencing the world, like, or somewhere
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
Yeah. Most people that I know that moved out west back in the day, like most of them didn't come back.
Yeah,
So
like none of them came back. I know so many people that moved out west and they just like
yeah,
loved it.
saying that was
A
like 10
whole
years
different
ago.
lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, and most of them didn't come back, and most of them, like I got
Yeah.
like one of my best friends, like he says to me all the time, he's like, "Hey man, you should move out to Edmonton." It's like I'm not. He sent me a Snapchat yesterday that it was snowing. Like I have a sunburn. What the fuck are you talking about? Like I'm not moving out to a place that's snowing.
Yeah.
Like what are you talking about? So yeah, I just think that it's like I gotta go. I gotta go.
You gotta go right now? Oh, to
No,
Edmonton.
yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah,
just
like
to Texas.
yeah.
You truly-
Anyway, in the middle of this thought, I need to go fuck up. Yeah, no, I
I was
think
like, did something happen? Like,
yeah.
did you get a notification? I gotta go. I gotta go.
No, I just feel like I don't. I need to leave like this place.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. So anyway, I gotta go. So off real quick.
Yeah.
Uh, but
But
yeah,
like, why Texas? Like, I think you've already told me in person, but for anyone that cares, if anyone's listening still, when I post
yeah, 2 hours ahead of me.
it. Yeah.
The climate, I hate the
Mhm.
climate here.
Yeah.
Freedom,
Mhm.
I like guns and trucks and stuff,
Mhm.
and I don't know. It just seems like it. I don't know. I like the Southern hospitality is like there's something to be said about it. Like people, if you walk down the street here, no one says hi to you. If you say hi to
Mhm.
people, it's weird. So I want to be in a place where it's
Isn't
like,
that weird that like Canada's known for being like so polite or whatever? But like, I actually noticed that too, because like I've traveled like a lot. Like I was lucky, like my parents used to like bring me on vacation and shit. And like when I was like 21, I went to Thailand for like 2 months. And Thailand's like so fucking poor, but everyone was so fucking nice. Like the Thai people were like so nice, even though they like I remember, and it's not like they were like nice like to try to get something out of me. Like I was like staying at like a cabin and like this Thai lady like bandaged me up when because like I wiped out hard like on a moped
mhm.
and she like bandaged me up for free and shit. She like made me call her mom, which was kind of weird, but and there was like this cab driver that like let me use his phone to call home, and it's like he didn't even want any money or anything for it, and like shit like that, you know what I mean? Where it's like here, imagine like asking a cab driver if you could use their phone to call Thailand. They would never say yes to
No,
that, like that's
no.
and it's like when this guy could barely understand me and he let me like call literally like halfway around the world.
Yeah, most people here are not like
Yeah,
super nice, and
yeah,
like that's what we're known for. So
yeah.
I want to go to a place like where you move into a neighborhood and everyone wants to like meet you, like, hey, come over for a barbecue,
Mhm,
like shit like that. So, and it's not like that here. And I just feel like there's no
mhm.
opportunity here. Like our country is trying to pass bills to limit free speech. Like we already don't have free
Right,
speech.
that like could affect your career and shit. Like you literally do this.
Not only that, but there is nothing more in this world that I disrespect more than trying to limit people's freedoms.
Hmm.
And that's the thing too, is like if you're a person, like there's certain things, like there's opinions, but that bill C10, I think it is, where they're trying to like, if you don't understand that that is limiting your freedom, you're dumb. Like it is. It
Yeah.
is. And like they're saying that if you, and they even says in the bill that if you have an audience big enough on platforms like YouTube and Instagram, that they can silence you if your opinion doesn't align with the government's values.
That's so
That
fucked up.
that's communist shit right there. That's what
Yeah,
China
that's
is. That's what
crazy.
North Korea is.
Yeah.
So, and we know that those are dictatorships. We know that those are
Hmm.
communist countries, and I have no interest in doing that. And I know that there's this whole new revolution of these idiots who are 30 years old living in their parents' basement that think communism is great or socialism is great.
That's never worked though. Like, look at
Yeah.
history. It's like,
Oh,
show me
we've
one
never done
example where it's
it
worked.
right. We've never done
Yeah.
it right. Yeah, you fucking idiot. Like so all the socialism and this it's all fucking stupid. And the only countries that have ever like, I don't know, man, I'm a big fan of capitalism. You know, I didn't come from money. I just made smart decisions and I made sacrifices, and you know, now I'm in a pretty good place. I'm pretty happy with where I am. And I like the idea that we have socialist ideas and socialist structures like
Right.
healthcare. I think
Mhm.
your healthcare could be better. But I like the fact that I don't have to pay it, you know, especially when I was like super broke. Like even,
Mhm.
man, I was super broke 3 years ago, like to the point where I almost lost my house, like super broke. And I could go to a doctor and just get, you know, I wouldn't have to pay any money. That's awesome. I like
Right.
stuff like that.
And
But
like, we should take care of like our disabled people and like our
yes,
super
yeah,
poor people or whatever. Like, that goes without
free
saying.
dental care, man.
Yeah,
That NDP
that would be
thing.
dope.
Yeah, I think everything else NDP stands for is dumb. But besides that, like the you know, free dental care is awesome. I think that's
Mhm.
amazing. That's a great idea. I think everyone should get free dental care because I don't know if you know this, but your teeth are part of your body. So
Yeah, exactly. It's
you
kind
know,
of fucked up that they draw the line there.
yeah.
And it's like, teeth are like super important. Like, you ever see someone with a missing tooth? They're like 2 points less hot at least. You
Yes.
know, like
And,
probably more.
and
If they
less
make a 10 a
employable.
5 real
Yeah.
fast, you know? Like,
Well, it's stupid too. It's like if I break my
yeah.
arm, you'll fix it for free. But if I break my tooth, which is also a bone, you won't.
Yeah, that's
It
fucked.
doesn't, you know, it doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah.
it's stupid. But yeah, we should take care of our, you know, but we should also have freedom of choice and free market. If it wasn't for capitalism, we wouldn't have all this sweet technology because
Yeah,
there's no,
exactly. There's
you
no
know,
reason to make a better phone or a better car or a better whatever.
exactly. So, and that's the thing too, is like people always like vote, like especially young people now, because it is hard and capitalism, you know, in the world is different. It's a lot harder now than in our parents' generation. Like our parents' generation had it the easiest of all time, no matter what they tell you. It was the easiest of all time. You can go to college and pay it
So
off
good.
on a,
Yeah.
you know, like and buy a house for $50,000. Like
Hmm.
say what you want. It's the easiest. You can call us entitled, but we're not. And it is difficult. So I just got the good advice at the right time. But
Hmm.
I do think that you need like that freedom to choose and have free market, and you know, the best product wins. Where if it's socialism and it's like everyone gets paid the same, why the fuck would I work harder than anybody else? You know, I get the same rations, I get the same, like why would I work harder than anybody else? Doesn't make any sense.
Hmm. Yeah, I think there should be like a safety net or whatever, maybe like a
Mhm.
universal basic income or something stupid like that. But not socialism, man. Not
Universal basic
communism.
income as long as every single person gets it, even
Yeah,
if you're
no,
a
that's what I mean.
billionaire.
Yeah, even if you're a
Yeah.
billionaire, like
Yep.
that guy in the States, like the Chang, I think was
Mhm.
something Chang.
Yang.
Yang,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but he'll
That
never
sounds
win because
racist.
he also wanted to get rid of the Second Amendment, so you'll never
Oh, I
win.
didn't know that part. I
Yeah.
just knew like the UBI
Yeah.
part that I was like,
Yeah.
man, this guy sounds dope. And yeah, he
Mhm.
even said like every single person would get that. And I was like, that makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
agree.
yeah, man, my mic is gonna die soon. I've been looking around for the cord and shit. Oh,
All right, man. Well, we've been doing this for 2 hours and a
I know
bit.
we've been
So.
doing it for so long, but I do love talking to you, bro. It's been fucking awesome.
Well, hey, I appreciate it. If anyone's watched this long, the one viewer that's left, please check me out at Wickens Wicked Reptiles on absolutely everything. And Sab is giving mustache rides in November, so you should sign up for
Yeah.
that too. Waiting list is gonna be really long.
Fucking love your face, man. Thank you so much for doing this. Like, there's nothing I can do to thank you. You know that.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for bringing me this thing of booze that I drank this week and I'm ashamed of. But yeah, I appreciate it, man. You're the only of all the people, man. I have a lot of friends and like a lot of people are like super nice to me, but you're the only one that came here and gave me anything and gave me your time. So I appreciate that. That was really awesome.
Fuck yeah, bro. I'll come visit you again once you hit 1 million.
All right, sounds good.
I'll fly down to fucking Texas.
I'll fly you down to Texas.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
All right, peace, man.
Thanks,
You're the
dude.
fucking man, dude.
All right.